How to keep me healing.
too early. I can't believe it's time to get up already, but that's okay. A man's morning routine is everything. The first thing I do is I head to the washroom. My focus, brushing my teeth, my beard, and my skin. Tej Hanley, uncomplicated skincare for men, has changed my life. The face wash, the scrub, the super serum, the eye cream, the AM PM moisturizer has people giving me compliments left and right about my skin. At the beginning of each week, twice a week, I massage the scrub into my face and then I rinse. Every other day, I use the face wash. I put it into the palm of my hands and I spread it evenly across my entire face and my head. The Tej face wash keeps the pores clean and also removes all oil. My favorite part about Tej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining an amazing skin easy. And because Tej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description, and not only will you get Tej Hanley for the best possible price, but they also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link and get started today for just $30.
That's right, family. Feel the Tej. It's go time. What's going on, family? Welcome to Lapeef Sunday. It's just the crew. We got Miss Balance, Chicago Rilla, Coach K, Ink in the Basement, Curves, Louise, Chanel, and me myself from Lapeef JR. Welcome to Lapeef Sundays, family. How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
What's good, JR?
Great.
Good job.
So,
Happy Sunday.
Now, let me ask you this, JR. Was that music intentional doing the commercial?
Yeah, man. Everything.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Man, yeah. Had to try to set the mood, man.
I know you chopping and screwing. I know, understand.
Yeah, man. I seen a few of y'all in the background crying. I'm like, damn, like that song really mean something to y'all? Heartbreaking Hotels, huh? Heartbreaking Hotels. Well, it's good to see you guys in attendance, Louise. Haven't seen you in a while. Chanel, I haven't seen you in a while either. I know you coast to coast, so
yeah.
a different type of lifestyle. You know, maybe we'll be able to get on your level one day.
Oh, it's possible for everybody.
What's going on, Rilla, brother? Good to see you, man.
What the business is, family?
What's going on?
How
You
y'all
got
feeling?
TLA going on, huh?
You said what?
You got the TLA going on. Oh, yeah.
Nah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that was my impersonation. I guess it wasn't good enough. So we'll go ahead and keep it moving. Good to see you guys. That's in the chat. Shantae, I see you. She says, good morning. DYT, Green Gang in the building. Salute to you. Marquise became a member. Salute to you. Shout out to you. What else we got in there? Trina, I see you in there. No trolling today, Trina. With all these names you keep putting in the chat. I just kind of figure you're just a little special. So, you know, we always got to make sure we salute and shout out to special people that's out there as well. We're going to go ahead and hop right into hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And shout out to the sponsor again, Tej Hanley Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. So make sure you guys click that link. That is your opportunity to be able to get a free gift along with the percentage off. You don't want percentages off, man. It's always good to get a deal. Our first topic of this morning, afternoon for some folks. It's still morning for me, is it? Yeah, let's see what time it is. It's still morning for me. I know Chanel said afternoon. I don't do that time zone, at least not yet. Dario, Treese, all the Green Gang is popping up in the chat. So salute to you. First topic of this morning. See, I'm stalling trying to get to it. Bear with me, it's too early. Never overstimulate your woman. Never overstimulate your woman. I have a clip for this.
Times you guys are in situations to where you're overstimulating your woman, whether it be too much arguing or too much pleasure. You have to understand your woman's sensory levels. Too much love, too much laughing, too much drama can make a person overstimulated. And what happens is when a person is overstimulated, they naturally remove themselves from the situation. or they fight with you. When we start to become overstimulated by the people that surround us, we tend to go at them and combat them to fight them off so they can go away. It's a natural human response to overstimulation. We're a lot more irritable and combative with them. And so you're wondering why your woman just got bitchy and everything been going good all of a sudden.
Use the word bitchy. Overstimulating. Never overstimulate your woman. I want to get to the women first because I think this is a very important topic. I always preach about balance. And in order for you to have balance, you got to pay attention to what's going on, because sometimes you could be too hot, sometimes you could be too cold. Sometimes when you're too cold, it's boring, right? And sometimes when you're too hot, it's like, oh, you're doing the most, you're doing too much. I can't breathe too. So, women, never overstimulate your woman. Let's talk about that. Have you guys got overstimulated before? Is it an issue? Does the guy not know what he's talking about? Let's get your thoughts. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Chanel. You look fired up. You got that Diana Ross look going on. So go ahead.
I do. Yeah, I've definitely been overstimulated. When my husband and I were planning our wedding, God, that was intense. Each little detail had to be perfect, and just making sure everything went the right way. It drove me crazy at one point where I think I had a panic attack. So I think, but I don't think it's just a woman thing. I think for men, maybe they can deal with overstimulation in a different kind of way. But for me, it was too much at one time. And when a couple goes through that together, it can be, you can clash at some points in time. So, you just have to try to deal with it calmly as best as you can, but it's tough.
I like what you said at first, Lapeef, when you were talking about a balance. Like, I think when it comes to things like this, there's a balance. Like, too much of anything can be overstimulated for anybody. Like Chanel said, on either side, if the man is taking too much of shit, or the woman is doing all the cooking, all the cleaning, all of everything, and she still has to please you and other things like that, it's like that can get to be overstimulating. So I think finding a good balance, and that looks different for every single couple. So finding a good balance is what you should do. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's a few moments that I noticed where a woman would like for you to speak up. Sometimes she want to be checked, so to speak, or want you to speak up on something. Then when you don't do it, it's like, what have I got myself into? Go ahead, Coach K. What are your thoughts about it? Balance. Come on back. Don't be trying to play hide and seek over there.
I don't know. I feel like life naturally gets in the way to make this even be a thing. But I can say, at least on maybe vacation or when you're spending all your time with that person, that's when I can see you're getting a little irritable. But I don't know if there's ever too much love, too much pleasure. I think life naturally balances that out, in my opinion. So I don't really relate to this.
Wait, hold on. Before we go to the next person, what do you mean there's no such thing as too much love or too much pleasure? Like, you don't think you would get annoyed because you're married, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you were around your husband all day, let's just say y'all both had stay-at-home jobs, you had to be around this man all day. Do you think that you couldn't possibly get like annoyed and like, oh my God, I see you too damn much? Like,
you see, that's why I said, like, on vacation, yeah, I could see that. But I think life naturally is just not going to be like this, because we both, well, at least for me especially, I like my alone time. So I'm going to go out and get that. And if he knows, and he does know that I need that, then that's just how we're going to flow. So it already just balances out in that way so that we aren't together. Because I could see that if we're up each other's, butts all the time, like on vacation or whatever, but we have things to do, we got people to see.
That's where the balance comes in, because you're not like up each other's butt cracks all day.
Yeah, that's why I said life naturally gets in the way, I think.
Okay.
Like, if you have priorities, you know what I mean? But vacation, yes, I could see where. But again, I'm gonna go out and get, take the time that I need to, get time away from him. So
What? Yeah, go ahead, Balance. What are your thoughts about never overstimulate your woman?
You got to learn your woman, because I say all the time, every woman is different. So you have to learn what works for your woman. Me personally, I need a lot of like
attention, like not a lot
What?
in this, not a lot in the sense of all the time, but every day. If we don't live together, we should be talking on the phone every day. We should be interacting somehow every day. But maybe some other woman doesn't like that, so you have to learn your woman specifically. And that and again, that goes for men and women. Learn what their level is and what they like, because sometimes if you don't give a person what it is they need, they're going to think that you're not as interested in them as they may want. So you have to learn your person specifically and give them what they need. As far as overstimulate, I have had a situation where my man is like, okay, can we like do something else today? Like, you go with your friends, I go with my friends. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But he had to tell me that. But, you know, like I said, just learn your person specifically and you'll be okay.
Okay. Gentlemen, it's our turn to hop in there now. Let me get you guys' thoughts. Luis, never overstimulate your woman. You can respond to the video and to what the ladies were saying. What are your thoughts about it, sir?
I mean, my thoughts is that, you know, there needs to be balance and congruency, right? I mean, the absence, you know, makes the heart grow fonder. I know that we tend to kind of get caught up in our day-to-day life, and there is that sort of separation. So when you come together in the evening time, you've already have grown that sort of that need or want or attention. But I do think that a little bit of overstimulation, like being all in your face or not really understanding certain boundaries, right? This is why a lot of men have like man caves or spaces to kind of decompress or just separate from your partner. But I think that understanding each other's temperament will kind of allow you to kind of bridge that gap. But I think there is just balance and congruency. A little bit too much pleasure is never a wrong thing, but I think too much neediness is could be a bit much.
I can't get off mute quick enough. Struggle streaming. So I put in the back chat the definition for stimulate, because I was listening to the brother and I was trying to get I was trying to understand what he's saying. The way I took what he was saying was the man's working hard to keep his woman satisfied, keep her stimulated, whether that's doing certain acts of kindness for her, or, whatever it is that she likes, speaking her love language, or he said, because he said, too much of anything. So he went on the other side of the spectrum saying if you're arguing too much, right? So stimulate, raise levels of psychological nervous activity in the body or any biological system, encourage interest or activity in a person or animal, encourage development of or increased activity in a state of process, right? So when I think about it, I think you hit it on the nail, JR, in terms of that balance. And I think that comes with knowing who you're with. That's you investing time into that person, understanding that person, at times willing to sacrifice for that person. But if it's like, if we looked at, I'm just using this as an example, if we look at Blueface and Krishan, right? I don't know if y'all familiar with them, but imagine it's probably been discussed already. Like, that's to the extreme, right? So the way you see that woman responding to that man, there's nothing he can do, right? I mean, he's already done way too much. And the way you see that young lady respond to that man is probably one of the most toxic expressions that we've seen on camera in a long time. So I agree. I don't agree with the brother's conclusion, but I do agree that, you should never overstimulate your woman, but you should work actively to find that balance.
I like that. Brother Hing, what are your thoughts, sir? Never overstimulate your woman.
Now, if he's talking about sexually, I don't agree with that at all.
What?
You can never come on now. I mean, I'm just saying, you can never do that enough. I encourage people to do it as much as they can while they can, especially as men. There's going to be an end date for us. Even with the blue diamond, it don't always help you. But let me say this. As far as arguing, man, I agree with that. You should not be arguing with your wife anyway. Walk away from her ass. Take yourself out of the equation, because it's not going to end up in a good situation anyway. Because, again, I'm going to tell you guys, y'all going to mess around and say some shit you're going to regret later. And now you got to explain why you said what you said. There's no need to doing that. Just walk away from her. She wants to sit there and argue. If you're on the phone with her, hang up. If you're in a room with her, get out. And then come back and say, we can talk. Well, we can be respectful, talk at a respectable tone, and have a respectable conversation. But until then, we can't talk. I'm not going to have a conversation with you where we're going yelling back and forth, raising our voice. Now we got to worry about if the kids hearing our conversation, hearing stuff that they don't need to be heard or be exposed to. No, we're not doing this. So, yeah, overexposure of argument and all that. As far as pleasure, no. And if my woman had a stay-at-home job, I wouldn't have no stay-at-home job. I'm getting the hell out. I'm getting the hell out because I need that space and that time away from them. You all, man. Some people could do it. I'm not built like that. I don't want to be around you 24/7. I love you. I care about you. I respect you. But I can't be around you 24/7, so I need my time. And I'm going to take it. I'm not going to ask for it. I'm going to take it. If that means I need to take a stroll around the block, just to enjoy nature, enjoy the weather and the elements, so be it. If it means I need to go to a gym, if I just want to go to the store, just window shop, then I'm gonna do that just to get away, just to get a moment. So,
Hank, I'm just curious, and this is a random question, but when you with your lady, do you hold hands?
Do I hold hands?
Yeah.
If she wants to, yeah, I have no problem with that. Okay. I smack on her ass too. I had no problem with that. I'm all for public affection. I know people think I got this hard persona, man. You're so mean. You'll fucking eat steel. Nah, man. Look, I love ladies. I love y'all beautiful, especially you natural hair women. I love it. So yeah, I don't have no problem with holding her hand, smack on the ass, kiss her on the cheek, showing public affection. No, none of that.
Hey, Hank, to your point though, remember when COVID, C-19 first hit? I don't know what we can say, what we can't say. I've been away from you two so long, man. Remember when it first hit and everybody had to stay inside? People learned about their partners real quick. Real quick.
They learned that they were with the wrong person this whole time. Investing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and it took a whole pandemic to realize it.
Hey, even with that, Rilla, you still got ways to get away. You can still, again, I could walk around that block. I don't care how cold it is. I got sweats. I put them on and I go. Give yourself time. Fortunately for me, my job never stopped. You know what I'm saying? I was at 24, 365 days. It never stopped. Matter of fact, I got paid more during COVID because I was getting overtime. So, but I know other people, it was affected. I feel bad for them cats, especially that's not in that frame of mind. They could be around their significant other that long, that much. Because sometimes it could be overkill, especially for men. Again, I tell ladies all the time, men don't like to talk a lot. We don't. If you get 2 hours, I'm talking about out of all the phone calls, all the communication, if you get 2 hours, man, you got a lot out of them. Because most men don't want to have a lot of conversation. We want to be at peace. We want to be quiet. I know y'all like to interact and want to tell us about your day. We'll just sit there and listen. We'll say very few words. Oh, yeah? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Well, I hope it gets better. And that's what we do. We don't want to sit there and go about our day because y'all really don't care. You really don't care. So we don't even waste our time expressing it. What's wrong, Curry for life? What's wrong? You give me that balancing
I'm just trying to figure out like what type of woman you're used to dealing with. That's what I'm just over here trying to figure it out. I'm like, damn, your woman don't care about how your day went. I hate that for you.
No, listen. Again, they asked me how my day was. It's not a problem with that. It's not a lot of conversation coming out of me though. True. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to give you a whole dissertation on my day. I'm not going to do that.
I feel like you're generalizing a lot of men, and you're taking your mindset and how you view things.
You might be right.
For all men, some men do like to talk. Some men like to communicate with their woman. It may not be you.
I understand. Ma'am, I didn't say they didn't like communication. You're not going to get a lot out of them. That's what I'm telling you.
I get a lot out of my man.
Congratulations.
Can I say
a lot to me?
This is why it's good.
Just saying it's not everybody.
I didn't say it was.
I hear you though, Hank. That's you, and I respect it.
I don't blame you.
Well, it's good there's a lot of people on the panel because then they can share, you know, everyone has different perspectives or how they view their relationship. But I wanted to say, I think it's good to reinforce the idea here in this context that you're not going to get everything you want, all the connection you need from one person. So if you like to talk about, I don't know, politics and your guy's into politics, then you talk about that with your friend. Don't force your guy to be into something that he's not into, you know? So it's like, I think even balance comes from that. Obviously your man is going to be your one and only, your, you know, your purpose, but at the same time, you need to make time for those other needs with your friends, your family, whatever. So
No, Coach K, reverse that. Men like to talk about politics for the women. Don't try and force your man to talk about some Real Housewives of Atlanta and some love and hip hop. Keep that for your girlfriends. Talk about that with her.
Right. Everybody's different, but my husband doesn't really enjoy talking about politics, but I like to talk about it. So I totally agree with Coach K. I talk to my friends or peers at work, and we get to discuss those things that my husband may not be like super into. He'll indulge if I'm like super like hyped, and he's like, okay, cool. But really and truly, he's just like, okay, I don't care.
Hey, can I ask the ladies, JR, before you move on? I'm sorry, bro. Can I ask the ladies a question? Because I see this a lot, and every time I see it, I just like to hear y'all's perspective on this. So when we're on these panels and we're talking, we understand as men, we understand not all. We may say most, we may generalize, we say some. Why? So like you rarely hear the men come back and say, well, not everybody's that way. It's only some people. I'm just curious, why do the ladies feel the need to like qualify or clarify that we're talking about specific people and not generalizing, which is mostly what we do when we on these panels?
I'll say no. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I agree with what you're saying, Rilla. I do. I think maybe we tend to do that because if we've lived an experience that's different, maybe we don't have a scope in what you're actually saying or like the generalities, which can be a bad thing. We shouldn't do that. But I think that's what we tend to do.
I see two different things that happens here. It's either one, and I found myself doing this, when guys will speak on maybe the general, you know, minds of women, I'll be like, but I'm not like that. It's almost like I want to seek validation somehow, and that's about me, and I need to cut that out. I found myself doing that. But then on the other end, hit dog will holler. So sometimes I think women, they relate to that, but they also get defensive naturally. And there's something to be said about that. So I think there's like two sides up to it. Or they want to share their opinion. I don't know. I want to be fair.
No, fair enough. I was just curious.
You want to say some, Curves? Did we lose you? Maybe we did.
I think I know what she wanted. She wanted to tell me how much she loved me. That's what she wanted to say. But she was nervous, so she got scared. She froze. And that's okay, Curves. We still love you, sister.
There you go. I'm gonna pull it down to see till it gets situated. But you know, kind of getting back up on topic for a little bit, I think it's important for men, like when you're in that moment and you can sense a woman getting irritable. I mean, she shouldn't be like that in the first place, right? But there's a time where you can see what's going on if you're paying attention, and that's your time to let off, you know, not to put the foot on the pedal, because who knows what that might turn into afterwards. You may appear to be crazy, you may appear to be controlling, depending on what the situation is. You got to know when to pull back, and that's why I say balance is real important, because you just be surprised how a woman could be feeling you one day and then she wake up like, what the hell am I doing? And it's all because of your actions, you know. So if I have to choose a side, I'm gonna choose the less drama side, and we can build up and we can spice it up in between here and there. But I don't want to be overboard where it's just you on the other side of that needle and you just pressing and pressing and pressing, and you can see the frustration on her face, and then you asking her what's wrong, and it just keeps going down. You keep asking me, you should automatically know what's wrong. Are you looking? Are you seeing my face? It just boils out of control. So welcome back, Curve. Sink was just saying you got a little spook and ran off because you was thinking about him.
Oh, you caught me. What did I miss?
Oh, you missed nothing. We just was talking about balance. Not balance on the panel, but just balance in general. Any final thoughts on this one before we move on? Anybody wanted to speak on it and get something out there for the people? Going once, going twice, gone. You guys just tuning in. Welcome to Lapeef-ING Sundays. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We did have a few super chats that has come through. So let me go ahead and get to that right now. I think I already highlighted Marquise Keys becoming a member. So salute to you, sir, again. Marcus Evans $5 says, "What up, panel brother? Really in the building. Be nice on the Sunday." Arthur, $9.99. Appreciate you, sir. And Dario Duplin, $49.99 says, "Rilla, salute." So salute to you, Rilla. Doug Will 499 says, "Shout out to the panel. Good to see you, Rilla." Marcus Evans $5 says, "One of Ricky new rap name, Nazi Ricky." Nazi Ricky. Who's Ricky at? Raw D Oppressed $2 says, "Welcome back, Rilla." Marcus Evans says, "Ricky didn't say that." Marcus Evans $5 says, "Thanks for asking that question, brother Rilla." Marcus Evans again says, "Thanks for asking that."
I missed the question that Rilla asked.
I was asking. Oh, go ahead, Jared.
John O with $11.99. Go ahead.
No, I was just asking. I notice when we get on panels sometimes, when men speak, we speak in generalities, and it's mostly understood. Like you'll rarely hear a man say, "Well, not all," but there are some who do. And I was asking the ladies on the panel if they would share, like, why is it that women do that? So women will come in and say, "Well, no, that's not everybody. It's only a few, you know." So why do y'all feel the need to make that distinction or clarification? Sometimes that's what they was responding to.
Oh, because it's not like. I mean, I just be wanting to clarify because it's like it's not all like, but I get you're just talking about the majority of people. I get that, but for me, I just want to know because there are a few that aren't like that. But
so can I ask you this?
Go for it.
Because I agree, and that's what I was saying. I think most men understand that it's not all. You do have outliers. You do have other people within that spectrum. So we acknowledge that implicitly. But how does that help us move the conversation if we take a moment to stop and just clarify? Well, it's not everybody. There are some out here that's this way. So that's why I was curious about, because I see it a lot on panels, and then I'll be sitting there waiting for a man to say, other than Jesse Lee Peterson, not all, not all, not all. You know what I'm saying? And it's rare that you'll see a man. I have yet to see a man say, "Wait, that's not everybody." You know, they may give anecdotal evidence of their situation, but I was just curious. That's all. It wasn't a fire start. It was just, I was curious.
No, I get it. I don't have an answer for it, but I see what you're saying.
And I want to say I'm really happy that Rilla's back too.
So you don't have an answer for it. You just do it. You just do it. You don't know how. You don't know why you do it. You just do it.
Because I just know I want to clarify me personally, but like I don't understand why men don't do it. You know what I mean? So I can't sit up here and be like, "This is why I do it. This is why." I don't know. Like I'm not gonna try to make up an answer. I don't have the answer.
Jay, what's the name of this? What's the title of this show?
Women don't know what they want.
I know you was gonna do that.
Hank, you know, you need to find something safe to play with.
Uh-oh.
All right, we got T.I. 499 says, "Salute to the family. Good to see you, OG Rilla." And we had another one came through. Bella Rings 499 says, "You'll be talking in circles all day if generalizations aren't made. Saying not all is exhausting for men." I appreciate everybody. Man, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to my brother, an elephant. Get the likes up, family. Likes looking pitiful right now. What you laughing at, real?
What's his name, JR?
We're gonna wait and move on. I said it fast enough so you guys can understand it.
You thought I wasn't gonna catch that?
Nah, you gonna catch it, brother. Everybody else missed it. Tap, accountability partner, $10 says, "Rilla, nice to see you on the panel, brother. Brother Hink, JR, no days off. We see the grind. Salute, panel. No days off, man. No days off." Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic of the night, which is, I'd say the morning. Deciding whether or not to commit. Deciding whether or not to commit. I do have Video.
Deciding whether or not to commit, right? One of the challenges that we see is that when you gave the example of the property and you were speaking of the home's value increasing over time, i.e., gaining equity, right? Accumulating equity. You're not so dissuaded by the market conditions now because you're thinking long term. We talked about that before, investing and holding. But that is not the society we are in. The society that we are in now is the upgrade culture. Okay. I have a perfectly good iPhone 12, but I'm on the every year upgrade plan. So when the iPhone 13 drops, I'm going to get the 13. Oh, the iPhone 14 just dropped. My phone is working just fine, but it's something new and shiny over here. Oh, I'm on the upgrade plan. So the average individual that we would be speaking into right now is not thinking about holding on, even though the conditions are rocky right now, till things get better, till we work it out, till we develop and mature. No, I want it to be right now. I don't want you to ever leave your laundry on the floor. I don't want you to ever not call me back. I want you to text me back as soon as I text you. And then when you don't, no, you're not the one. I'm going to just move on. And so when we say, when is it time to commit? First of all, we have to get out of the upgrade culture. If this person has pre-qualified and they have then qualified, you have to understand that they have shown that they have the values, they have the experiences, they have the characteristics to be with you.
All right, here we go, y'all. Deciding whether or not to commit. I'm going to go to you first, Balance. What are your thoughts about that?
You gonna go to me first. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a day and age that we're in. I call it the microwave society. We want everything now, immediately. When it doesn't go our way, we want to just be on to the next. And it's really sad as a culture that this is what we have come to, because all we see is the kids suffering. I say this all the time because it's true. People cannot stick together with anything. If they don't like a relationship, a job, a location, anything, they're just gone. They don't know how to stick things out, how to work things out anymore. So it's like deciding whether or not to commit. I didn't really hear that too much in the actual clip you played, but in my opinion, if you can't figure it out within the first 30 days, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing, because for me, it doesn't really take that long. It doesn't take that long to spend time with somebody, to talk about things, to see if you have the same goals and admirations, to see if you could build with somebody. If you can't figure that out within the first 30 to 60 days, I don't really know what we're doing. Commitment shouldn't be that hard. It should not be that hard. And I think people should learn to commit, because all we see today is a whole lot of situationships constantly, and people are on to the next within a few months, and they're on to the next. I've seen it with people I follow on social media. They're in a relationship and then they're not, and then they're in a relationship with the next person and then they're out. And I'm like, how are people doing this? So for me, it's just taking the time to learn that person, to see if you guys could build together long term, to see if you have the same long term goals, and then commit. It shouldn't be that hard. People are just like, I have all of these options. Look at Instagram. Oh, this girl, this girl, this girl. Women, men do the same thing alike. They're like, it's so many options that I don't have to stick to one. And that's the problem. So if you actually want something long term and a long term commitment, commit. Like, stop thinking that the grass is going to be greener somewhere else, because that's what I think people are falling into all the time. So I mean, for me, it was not hard. It's not hard. We got the same goals. We could build together. Let's do this and stick it out. Even if we have a fight, we work through it, talk it out, stick it out, keep going. So it's not complicated, but today's generation makes it really, really complicated, unfortunately. But I don't have that problem. But yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Luis. What are your thoughts about it, sir?
Honestly, I agree with her. I mean, I think today, and this is like consumerism kind of society, we tend to kind of treat people like products. Some people do. We get into relationships. We don't take the time to understand who they are, what their value system is, their upbringing, and, how you complement each other, right? I think it's just like very transactional at times. And it's like, well, they do this or they have this, and we don't really latch onto those values, things that hold us down. And a lot of people don't communicate effectively, right? They listen, but they don't effectively communicate because they're not really, shown how to do that, right? And I think we've kind of glorified this, like, onto the next as opposed to kind of really understanding why the relationship isn't going the way they are, or taking the time to kind of know that person. It's pretty much a microwave society. It's kind of recycling people. Oh, and this last thing I'm gonna say, the perceived notion of options, right? People have this inflated idea that they have options. You might have options, but really, which are that whole pool of people are really the quality individuals that you really want to take the time to get to know and really spend time and be in community and proximity with, right? There's very small finite, but we're so in a chokehold about having this entire pool of access to people that is really, holding a lot of people back from being in fruitful relationships that could lead to marriage and long-term commitments.
All right, Curves, what are your thoughts about it? Deciding whether or not to commit.
There's so much to unpack here. I really don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. But I guess I'll start with, like, we really do live in a swipe left society. Everybody is just like, social media has really jacked us up. People feel like they have more options than they do. I don't like you, swipe, and people are not really properly taking the time to get to know each other. You're not asking the right damn questions. And you're like to me, I feel like you have to ask yourself, like, can I see myself doing life with you? Do I want to deal with you on the hard days? Because shit is not always going to be sweet. It's not always going to be like, oh my God, I want to kiss you. When I said, we're going to have some rough moments, but do I still want to deal with you when we are going through those rough patches? So for me, I just feel like I know whether I want to deal with somebody really fast. Like, it really only takes a few conversations. I don't need months. I don't need weeks. I literally know if you're quick, it's quick. Because I'm very intentional with the questions I ask. I watch, I read body language. I'm not going to waste too much time with nobody. So, and if I do see it there before I was in a relationship, if I go on a date and I see that we're not compatible, or it's not going to go anywhere, all right, cool. It was nice, but I don't see that, you know what I mean? So I feel like people waste too much time, and people let sex get in the way. People are having sex way too soon. People aren't getting to know the people that they're sleeping with. And then you get blinded by the booty and blinded by the meat. And before you know it, you all caught in this entanglement. You trying to figure out why y'all fighting all the damn time, because you were never supposed to be together. Y'all just like the sex. So that's how I feel about it. Like, ask the right damn questions. Take the time. Look in these people's eyes. Stop just getting all hee hee hee. Sometimes people be so key. You're not doing the right things. You're not moving properly. And that's what it's all about. And I feel like when the right person comes along, you're going to know. And that shit doesn't take very long to figure out. Because our spirits speak. It's not just about a physical thing. Oh, do we do this? Do we do that? Like, how do you feel when you're around them? Do you feel safe? Do you feel protected? Do you feel loved? Do you feel like you can do life with them? These are feelings. These are things you can't really see. So, is your spirit right? That's it.
You can't expect me to take you seriously.
Go ahead, Chicago Rilla.
Nigga.
Decide whether or not to commit.
Curve said, our spirit speaks. No, that's right, girl. You tell them. I would be remiss without at least acknowledging, my generation. I'll be 49 this year, and the role that we play. So when y'all speak about what society is, right? Y'all speak about the way that society is. Well, I think back to the reason why a lot of these kids, a lot of these younger generations, especially in our community, they have no respect for nothing. So then, like, if you say deciding whether to commit, what are they committed to? Who are they committed to? They're not committed to family. They're not committed to marriage. Marriage is on the decline. You in the culture where, keep it a bean. My generation, Generation X, kind of laid the groundwork and the blueprint to objectify, commodify women, and women have done the same thing to men, the exact same thing to men. You reduce a man to his wallet, men have reduced women to their cat. So what you think finna happen with these shorties? And then, anyway, I think somebody said it earlier, how easy it is to get sex. So what am I committed to? I'm not committed to community. Again, I'm not committed to the idea of family, right? So once we start there, then we can begin to have this conversation and really begin to build from there, right? But to me, I agree with the ladies. When me and Boo Thang started talking, but I think our level of age and maturity had a lot to do with the way this conversation went. But when me and Boo Thang first started talking, man, it was a no BS conversation. it was a come to Jesus, like, what you on? You still out here running around playing game? Nope. What about you? You out here doing this? Nope. Well, what you want? Man, this is what I'm looking for. Well, how about you? What you want? But this is what I want. Hey man, let's make it happen, Captain.
Right?
Really,
So how long did that take?
Really, you preaching?
It was fairly quick. It was fairly quick. We argue
what's the time
about
frame?
I say within 30 to 60 days.
Oh, okay.
We argue over the days when we actually, but the conversation from the moment we first started talking, it went fairly quick. We had to come to Jesus. I think because I was living in Detroit at the time, and one time I drove here to see her. And so it was within 30 to 45 days, actually. It was in 30 to 45 days. So it was fairly quick. But here's the other thing, and I pass it. You gotta be intentional. I knew I was coming out of a situation, and I knew I wanted to be ready to go into another. So I was intentional about doing the self-work for me to prepare myself to be in another situation. So when my lady presented herself, I knew exactly who she was, it wasn't no denying. That's why things moved quickly when we got into our relationship. And so you got to be intentional. Most people's intentions is to city girl summer, hot boy summer. You know, they got the game effed up, fam. You out here slut monkeying, sleeping around, turning all these women out, and then complaining about these women being turned out. And for the streets, will you create more women for the? And the same thing with the women. Y'all complaining about these men, but y'all giving them easy access.
I think it's kind of easy to tell who's who, though. And this is just my opinion, because if I see somebody's moving like that and they're at the club every weekend, and they're not on what I'm on, I'm not going to pursue that person. So people are like, it takes longer than that. I don't think so, because I can tell from the conversations that we're having. I could tell by where they are in life and what they're working on in life. Like, where is their attention? Are they sitting down watching Housewives every day and going to the club every weekend and drinking every night? Right. And smoking every day? Or are they building a real foundation? Are they buying property? Or like, what are they investing in? Like, you could tell by conversation. I don't know.
Just by their daily habits.
You can distinguish that when you get in your 30s. I think for people in their 20s. So my question to you would be, okay, so what about they're not going to the clubs, but they're at the art museum? Can you distinguish then?
It's about the conversation, though. What are we talking about?
There's you know how people say, oh, they had their representative show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I agree with you. Like, you know, the obvious are the obvious, right? You know, pants sagging, you know what I'm saying? Hat cocked, dookie gold chain on, you know, yo, baby, yo, what's up? Shout it, what your name is. That's easy, right? But then how do you sift through the pretenders?
Yeah. Go ahead,
it's between your conversation and your discernment. And a lot of people don't have no damn discernment. They don't know what the hell they're looking at past what's coming out your mouth. I don't care what's coming out your mouth. I can read your spirit, and I don't care who you are. That's all. That's all I need.
Can you break that down when you say discernment? Some people may not know what that is.
Okay, discern. Oh, dang, I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of like it's pretty much like a spiritual. It's like a spiritual, like knowing. Just all right. Let's say it's intuition. Let's just say it's like an intuition. Like when you have a gut feeling about something, you like, I'm not sure about him or her, whatever it is, and then you decide to go against your intuition, and then later on you find out that they ain't shit, and then you like, dang, I knew they won't shit. That was your intuition. That was your discernment trying to rise up, but you ignored that shit. So that's the best way for me to explain it. But
so discernment is like your intuition.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a little deeper than that, but I don't really have time to explain the spiritual side. Like, it's kind of like explaining spiritual things to people who have a carnal mind. It's kind of hard to explain, because
I mean, wouldn't it be fair? Wouldn't it just be fair to just say that it's people's ability to show up consistently? If the person that you're talking to is all over the place, you know what I'm saying, and it isn't.
No, but some people are good. Some people are good at it. Some people are like really, really good carnal. It's like they will have you thinking their life is completely different than what the hell it actually is. And if you can't decipher and see through all that BS, like, you know what I mean? Not everybody is messy with their shit. Some people are sloppy with it, and some people are really good at it, at their representative.
So what if you misread that spirit?
What do you mean? What if I misread it?
I mean, they could be good at hiding the spirit too. They could be hiding the good spirit, you know what I'm saying? And then they just, not putting out that they not putting out that bad spirit. They containing that bad spirit in the box over here, but that good spirit is all at the front. So what's the damn difference?
So I haven't ran into that yet.
Oh.
I haven't been wrong yet.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
really?
There's no
I
way
haven't,
you
but
can
no,
fake
I
it.
messed up. No, the only time I'm gonna be real, because there's no cap over here. I've been in situations where I've ignored shit, and I'm like, maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm overthinking it, and I ignore it, and then it turns out to be what I already thought it was in my gut at first, and then later on I'm like, dang. So now I don't. If I feel something, that's just what it is. I don't question it, because when I do question it, I end up being like, you know what I mean? So you trying it.
I will say that, like,
shout out to the spirit queen, baby.
If a person is lying, they cannot keep it up. They cannot consistently lie. Like, it will show. And for example, I think people are impatient. Like, they want to jump into the bed. And I'm being like, if you could not have sex with this person, take your time and just learn them as a person and an individual and stop jumping into sex with them, see what happens. See if they stick around. Just see. Just be patient enough to see if they can consistently just keep talking to you, keep dating you, courting you, whatever it is, and you're not having sex with them. If they can continuously do that. Because if they're lying, they're going to disappear on you so fast that you just have no idea. They'll be gone. But if they can consistently keep courting you and you're not having sex with them, you may have something there. If not, they'll run from you. I'm telling you, you guys need to just stop having sex with strangers.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, Balance. A lot of people are much more picky about the food that they eat and the places that they show up than the people that they choose to lay down with.
And that's their problem, and that's why they're in the predicaments they're in, because they have no patience.
Hey, let me tell you something, Balance. I say this to the women. I'm not putting this on women like y'all may think I am, but I say this to women all the time. Y'all are the ones that really in control. Y'all are I know in this space, women control access to sex, but that's true. We have been taught that if she say no, god dog it, she mean no, you better get up, walk away, so on and so forth, right? And the point being is most men in that situation. I'm not saying stuff doesn't happen, but most men in that situation won't even press the issue. You don't want, okay, I don't need you, let the welfare feed you. I'll move on to the next one. Now, what happens if the next one is like holding to the standard? It's called a standard, holding to the standard. Nope. Then people are going to start to course correct themselves. But if I could get it like going to buy a Snickers at the corner store with a bag of hot Cheetos with some cheese sauce on top of it, man, come on. We can only do as much as y'all let us do. When it comes to access to y'all, I could talk slick, swallow, spit all day. That's nothing. Conversation rule of nation. You know what I'm talking
about? Yeah. I want to ask this question. I know we're not getting off and all still tight. Everybody mute in between. But I want to ask you guys about patterns, right? This conversation comes up a lot nowadays. So I want to ask you, do you think that people, I know people have patterns, but do you think that people can, I feel like I asked this question before. Have I asked anybody on the panel? No?
Okay, you didn't finish the question yet. What you about to say?
Do you guys think that patterns stick with somebody for a lifetime? Or do you think that is a shift? Like Chicago Rilla said that when he got of a certain age, a certain mindset, certain time in his life, I'm not for the BS. Look, what do you want to do? Do you want to go all the way with this? Are you going to BS and so forth? So I'm not sure if you had a pattern before that, Rilla. I don't know if you was a slut monkey or what. No, like no offense. But do you guys think patterns stick for people for a lifetime? Or do you think something happens, whether it be mentally, physically, maybe they just decide to get together. Maybe they don't know no better. What do you guys thoughts about it?
I know with me, it was like every 5 market change with me. So when I was in my 20s, when I turned to 25, my mindset changed about dealing with different things and acting and being around certain people. But that, so it did change for me, like every 5-year mark. So when I turned 30, I'm looking at things differently. I'm coming to people differently. I'm not coming at them a certain way like I used to in my 20 or when I was 25. So it seemed like every 5 years for me personally, my patterns change. But
I think go ahead, Sean.
Sorry. It also, there are seasons to everything. Seasons of adolescence, seasons of adulthood. You become a parent, you become a spouse. There are different things that can help change those patterns, especially if they're bad patterns. Health crisis can change your eating habits. You go to the gym now. So different things in your life can assist with changing your patterns, especially if they're bad ones.
Go ahead, Coach K.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I think a health crisis or something like that doesn't have to happen too. If people want to change their patterns or habits, their systems, basically just takes awareness. If you look around and you don't like the outcomes or the results that you have, you need to look at your patterns. And if you want a different outcome, is the things that you're doing now, is that going to create that result? Probably not. So you're going to have to look at your patterns, and they can be changed. It takes work, but it's every day you're creating that muscle memory, basically, like you would be in the gym or in a sport, whatever. So they can be changed. It's just a little bit harder when you're older because you've been practicing them for so long, but it can be done for sure.
Yeah, I think the only people whose patterns don't change and stick with them throughout their life, because we do see those individuals, right, are people who are not committed to learning and change. So like for me, I consider myself a lifelong student, right? So I'm always learning something new. I can learn from anywhere, anybody, right? So I agree with Hank, your mindset changes, and I agree with you in 5-year increments for most men that are intended. But I think you was a different brother coming up though, Hank. You know what I'm saying? So that 5 years, every 5 years, it's either a different goal or a different place where you want to be. And in order to get there, you got to shift, right? Shift your mindset. Because if you keep doing, like Coach K was saying, if you keep doing the same things, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same things, expecting different results. So if you continue this pattern and you're not producing the results you want from it, the only people I see like that are like 50-year-old goofies that just don't want to change, don't want to learn nothing, can't tell nobody nothing, or can't nobody tell them nothing, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, but also too, Rilla, a lot of people don't really sit with themselves long enough to figure this out, right? There's always the constant distractions, the phones, the internet, the being outside, needing to be surrounded around people who affirm their bad behavior, right? But they don't really take the time to sit with themselves and realize, where am I at and where do I want to go and what am I doing wrong, to kind of have that self-evaluation. People don't want to sit with themselves, so they conjure up all these distractions that hinder their growth, hinder their ability to kind of grow and evolve and learn something new. That's really where it starts. It starts with you kind of spending time with yourself. And a lot of people are afraid to spend time with themselves because they know that they're not going to like what they see. They're not going to like what they experience, right? It's like, look who I've become, look what I've done, right? They don't want to face that reality. It's being able to look in the mirror and take accountability about your actions and where you are today and what you're going to do about it, right? Far too often, too many make excuses like new year, new me, new year resolution, but that really starts months in ahead. It's the mindset that gets you there. It's not like a new calendar just sit and you have a new page. It's the consistency that leads up to it.
And also, to add on to what you're saying, Luis, people around you saying, yeah, you're perfect the way you are, keep going, or social media, or
Those are the worst.
It keeps you in this mindset, like, I have nothing to change, I'm perfect, I'm great the way I am. And it could be for whatever thing. It could be your financial situation, it could be your health, it could be anything. If people around you are stuck in a cyclical mindset, then you're going to be prone to do the same thing. And if people are saying you're perfect the way you are, you don't need to change, then that's already a problem.
Go ahead, Curtis. I think you wanted to hop in before you dropped out.
No, I agree with pretty much what everybody said. It just comes down to you as a human being, like, how self-aware are you? How are you evaluating yourself? Do you want to change? But I mean, stuff like that, you really just have to decide, like, do I want to keep being this way, or do I want to change the version of myself? And that's what it comes, and it's a personal decision. And some people really feel like there ain't shit wrong with them. Some people will really be like, this is just how I am. I hate those type of people. You that type of person, I don't even want to deal with them type of people, because it's like, you really think that you're okay. You really feel like there's nothing that you have to work on. There's something that we all have to work on. Like, even if, so yeah, it's just, are you gonna work on yourself? Are you I don't even know how to put it, but yeah, pretty much just self-evaluate. And if you're not doing that, then you're probably just gonna keep entering, and you're gonna be in the same pattern that you always been. Oh my God, why do I always end up here? Why is this always me? Because you're doing the same shit. So that's it.
I seen Kelly Convos in the chat. She said, "Once a hoe, always a hoe."
I'm screaming.
She should have came on the panel today.
So she can tell her to come up. You
tell her to
bleach
come
your
up
wholeness?
here.
So is that true? Is it like once a hoe, always a hoe? Is it different for men and women?
If that's the case, half these chicks in trouble.
I don't know, but like, you have to define hoe. Yeah. How many
Again,
bodies? Like,
it depends on the awareness.
We know what a hoe is. We don't have to define
exactly what you are. Hey, I believe you can change. I believe your hoes can change. You hoes got a chance to change. I believe in you.
We've all seen hoes get married, though. Like, we've all seen.
But it don't make they not a hoe.
Married, but they don't stay married.
But I'm saying, do they get a fresh start? Do they get like a you used to be this way, but now?
You think their vagina get a do-over? Is that what you're saying?
No. Maybe they changed, though. You know,
maybe they're like, maybe they were promiscuous because they never felt value in themselves, and then they met a dude who really viewed them differently, and now they like. And I'm not speaking for the hoes. I'm just saying, is it possible? You know what I'm saying? I'm asking, like, is it? Should I know?
Look, let a hoe be a hoe. She won't continue to be a hoe. She won't change her ways, and let her be it. Hey, I'm a reformed man, hoe. I'm a example of somebody who can change.
I was just about to say that.
I am reformed. I am reformed.
That's what I'm saying. So
right. So how he could do it, but women can't. That's what I'm saying. He could do it.
Again, don't misunderstand. I didn't say your hoe can't change.
The thing we were missing.
I didn't say that.
But you changed is what I'm saying. That is the point.
Yeah, I changed. I mean, I changed.
The thing is, you can change your actions.
The spirits in me changed me.
Good.
You can change your actions, but you can't change the results that you had when you were a no.
That whole mentality. I promise you, I'm gonna get hoish in the bedroom.
Oh, wait,
I have a question for.
Wait,
hold on, y'all. Let Coach K go finish.
The only thing I wanted to say was, if a woman is a hoe, the results that she has of being a hoe, the body count. If she has children, maybe an STD, she can't change those things. She can definitely become a nun for all I care. She can do that. She can change and be reformed, but some of those results are lasting, though. That's things that you can't change. That's what I want to add to the
I have a question for the men. If you are a reformed hoe, respond, please. For the men, let's say you wasn't a hoe.
That's a trick question. All right, just ask the men in general, and then that way we're not shaming out here.
No, that's a Jedi mind trick.
Sorry. All right.
Just call my name. Say my name.
Even okay, if you know a friend that knows a friend that knows a friend that was used to be a hoe, whatever. Fine. We can push it way out. It don't gotta be you. Let's say a man is a reformed hoe. What makes him decide that he wants to be with a woman? Like, if he's like, I want to stop being a hoe, like what is it that makes him choose a specific woman? Like, does she make him feel differently? Is he just tired of being a hoe? So you want to say, like, what do you know a reason why you decide to put your flag?
So you want to know why I decided to get reformed? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It got boring.
It got boring.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I got tired of dragging y'all heifers. Y'all boring to me after a while. I mean, there's no fun in no more. So I decided to do a different hunt. So my hunt turned into just committed to one and one only. That's a lot more harder than being a man whore. I promise you that. And it's a lot more cheaper. It costs me less. Okay. My time, money, and energy I saved because I'm dealing with these whores. I don't have no problem. Let's talk about this. Decide on whether to be committed to my. Y'all talking about this talk. Look here. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you again. Y'all women can act like y'all don't want to hear it, but y'all gonna hear it from me. We don't care about what y'all talking about. Y'all can try to wait us out. Don't give us no. Look, we'll wait you out again. I've said it before on the show before. We'll hit your neighbor house. We'll hit the woman across the street. Matter of fact, we might hit your auntie if she look right. We'll knock her down. Wait for you to come around. As soon as you decide to want to get blessed by him, then I'm gonna bless you.
Hell yeah.
But if not, I'll move on and
Y'all
knock down
move
your sister.
around. Move
And
around. Don't
knock
listen
down
to
your
nothing
sister.
he's saying.
Please believe
move
us.
around.
Hey, but see, you don't understand. That's how some of these men move. I know you don't. I know your man don't do it. I understand.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I know he got the spirit of the Lord in him, and that's all good.
I'm
Congratulations for finding that good man. But there's some out here, men that move like that. I promise you, before you found that man, I bet a man was moving like that on you. You just didn't know it.
Ladies, that's why I tell y'all, any ladies who watching, ask these Negroes the right questions. Stop taking meat from these men you don't know nothing about. Because they out here doing exactly what he's talking about. He just told you.
There's some questions you can ask all day. You can't trick up that when they good. When they good, you can't trick them up. I promise you. He has to get tired of dealing with y'all like that. That's when he'll change. But there's some out here, there's some monsters out here that can move like that. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
The easiest way I was able to discern that my husband would take me seriously was that he took the lead of the relationship. Every step of the way, he was able to tell me, this is what I would like. This is what I'm looking for. This is where we're going. I want to be serious. He was very vocal, and there was no like tricks and all of these things I had to do.
Intentional.
It was very
he wasn't making you try to figure out where you at. You know,
I was never
women are out here doing that.
Yeah,
they trying to figure out where they're at with a man. Oh my God, does he like me? Does he not like me? Oh my God, I can't tell. He's giving me all these mixed signals.
If you have to ask these questions, he's not for you. Honestly,
if you confused, he's not for you. If you trying to figure out what, talking to your girlfriends, oh my God, do you think he likes me? Like, bye.
That's already a no. He's going to lead you to the promised land. You know, you don't have to do anything. He's the one that's going to tell you what's going on. So
that's Uber waiting for your ass to take you back to the streets, baby.
And these men will bullshit you as long as you allow them to. There's no time limit for them. As long as you allow them to drag you along, they gonna do that shit.
Unless you ladies commit, say you got to come in a conversation. Say you women who want to get married, y'all actually want to get married, not just the idea of marriage, but actually want to put the work in and do get married. You got to let it be known. If not, a man's not going to commit to you. Don't get him married. He won't. He will play you like the lifetime girlfriend he's going to treat you. Now, if the conversation comes into play, I want to get married someday. Okay, cool. We hear you say it. It may just be talk. We're going to test you again 3 months later. You know, I've been looking at this dress. I've been looking at this ring. You better keep on bringing it up, letting it be known that's what you want. Those are your intentions. Because if you don't let a man know your intentions, he will keep on using you and abusing you as long as he can, and he will kick you to the streets when he gets tired of you.
You know what's funny in this conversation? Coach, you want to go? I see you came off mute first.
The one thing I wanted to say is also be careful with that too, because their man will be doing all the things. He'll be a solid guy. And then they'll be like, I don't know. They'll just be creating problems out of nothing. And it's like, look at the evidence you do have for that he does want to be with you, whatever, because you'll push him away when you're over analyzing stuff and being paranoid. I see that all the time. Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the one thing that I find interesting in these conversations, nobody has said, you know what? Well, my daddy vetted mines. My brother, I ran mines through my brothers and my uncles. You know, pause. You know, but I you know, I took them to my peoples, and my people
right.
said,
Go ahead.
Yeah, right. You know, I took them to my peoples, and my people said, that's a good man fight. Same with my girls, all women that I have dealt with, they had to meet my grandma and my sister. My sister a little hater, but if you can make it through my sister, you good money, you Gucci. So we good to go, right? That's a tool in the toolbox, but because a lot of people be out here so busy, I know everything about nothing, and I don't want to bring them in front of my people. Then you run off and get married, do what you do. My Nana and them already told you that wasn't the one, baby girl. Now you sitting up here with your heart broke.
You preaching. That's facts. If my family don't like you, I don't like you either.
Yeah, but how many people are really
not my whole family, not my whole family,
to like their dad, their brother, or uncle? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
what I'm saying. That's my point.
Like, I just don't. No, I said how many. I said let's be realistic. How many people are genuinely running their person of interest by their family, not
I
friends,
don't.
not friends.
If
You know what I'm
Family.
saying? See, but y'all the anomaly. You know what I'm saying?
if we're serious, there's plenty of dudes that I might have just went out on dates with, but like I have to see something in you, and we have to have certain conversations, and I'm like, okay, like, and if I see something there, then I would want my family to meet you because I need their approval too. Not that it stands on my family completely, because sometimes my family, they could be not haters, but you know what I mean, they might have their own opinions. I'm the complete deciding factor, but their opinion does matter to me. I will take heed to what they say. So like if my family's like, they see something that maybe I might not see, then I would want to know that. But no,
Yeah,
I
but
get
why?
what you're saying. Not everybody does that.
But why would you run a man through a woman? That should
Did I
never
say a
happen.
woman? I'm
You
talking
said your
about.
family.
So
You,
I only got women in my family. I don't
I
have.
don't. I don't know. But you said
Yeah.
friends. So you, unless you got some guy
Not
friends,
even friends. I don't base it on
man,
friends.
you keep changing it up. Then I don't
I never
understand what you
said
said.
friends. Run it back.
You
I
said
never said
family. You said family, right?
family.
So are you running them through the men in the family or just the women?
Both.
No,
You gotta meet my
no.
brother too.
No, no, yeah, you're fine. A man should meet his brother because a man gonna see what another man is doing, how he moves, how he acts. A woman can't tell a man what. No, you're wasting your goddamn time sending through these chicks. Don't do that.
Hey, you have an interesting way of viewing things, but I mean that's all right. You're
You right,
entitled to
baby.
your
You
opinion,
right.
man.
You right. But to
You're
each his own.
entitled to it.
To each
So
his
Yeah,
own,
because
baby.
so
like
what
this
I
is
hear
the
you
thing.
saying, no, pause. Hold on. So anybody say, so what I hear you saying is a woman's opinion does not matter. Is that what you're saying right now?
I didn't hear you was breaking up, man.
Are you saying that a woman's opinion does not matter? That's why we shouldn't run it by the women in the family. Their opinion doesn't matter. It's not valid.
About a man, no, not about a man. It doesn't.
That's so sad.
I think that a man knows how to vet a man. So
Exactly.
And I'm not arguing in that. That is absolutely true. But if you're saying, okay, so balance, let me ask you personally. If you're taking a man seriously, would you want your mother or whatever female figure, I don't know your situation, but whatever female figures in your life, would you not want them to meet the guy or whatever, I don't know, but you know that you're dealing, like, would you not want their approval in some way?
So the way I do things personally, the women for tradition, yes, I want them to meet him, but the men vet him, not the women. The men vet the man in my family. So it depends on what the men say about him. The women, yeah, they're gonna meet for tradition, but I'm going to my brother and my father and my uncle, like, what do you think? Like, they're the ones vetting him. So
They're asking the
I said the
tougher
same
question.
damn thing. You didn't take my word for my word. I said the
would like
same
a woman's
thing.
opinion. Just
I understand. Okay, now it comes out. I got you. I see what I'm dealing with. No
All
problem.
right. Well, you should see what you're dealing with. You was dealing with the
I
same thing
see what
30
I'm
minutes
dealing
ago,
with.
my dude.
I got you. The
Hey.
spirit has told me what I'm dealing with.
hey,
Yes, ma'am.
I can't wait. I can't wait till you get married.
It's coming.
I know.
Oh
God. Go ahead, Luis. I think you were trying to say something.
Nah, I was gonna say that, you know, the men, you know how to size up other men, and they ask the tougher questions. You know, they really want to know, like, what do you do, like, what are you into, things like that, and then also they peep how you move. So it's a much more stringent process to kind of introduce them to the men in your family. You know, whether it be uncle, brother, father, etc. So yeah, definitely. You know, it's cool. It's so crazy because I had this conversation like maybe like a year and a half ago, and I had presented that to a group of women, and I was like, "Oh, why I don't introduce some of these men that y'all having such a bad faith experience with, you know, by the men in your life, like your father, your brother, uncle, etc." And then I had this one sister. She jumped on me and she was like, "Oh, we don't need men to vet, man. We can, you know, vet our own and stuff like that." And I was like, well, why are you on this perpetual cycle of failure, and keep blaming the men, but yet you're never introducing them to the men in your life who you value, admire, and respect, right? Like your own community, your own tribe. So that should just be weird to me.
So if if you don't have a lot of men in a family, then so you just try to find the most closest one. So let's just say you have a family full of women. Say you have all sisters, then do you reach out to whomever you can? Do you go over to finding like the closest male friend of the family? What are the steps then?
I think it will have to be like
A grandfather. There's some male in their life somewhere that they can hopefully you can rely and trust and believe in. You know what I'm saying? And trust their judgment as well as their word is, and they're a stand up type dude. I mean, that's what you have to do. My father wasn't always in my life, so I had to rely on his brother, my uncle, my grandfather, who had to be that male role model figure in my life to teach me and show me certain things. Also relied on my coach, as well as to get male advice. So even though you may not be blessed with a father in your life, due to where they're gone, they're not in the picture for whatever reason, if there's still another male role model in your life that you can rely on, a grandfather, like I said, or some other family member that you trust and you see how they move and they move like an upstanding type man, then get his advice. And if it have to be a neighbor, a friend, whatever, if you could trust him, and you don't have to be kin to be family. So we all know that. But whatever male you can find in your life that can give you that solid advice, seek it.
I know you guys said that women can't vet a man. Can you guys give some examples real quickly as to why you wouldn't want to rely solely on a woman's perspective when it comes to vetting that man?
I mean, a woman has blind spots. There's things that she's not going to be able to see that my father or my brother can instantly see because he's a man. Men relate to men. Like there's no way that I think a woman knows more about a man than a man knows about a man. It just doesn't make sense. And I think men men know men, so you go to men to understand men. And again, this has worked in my family. It makes sense. And if you don't have males in your family, then you need to go to your closest male family members, friends. You need a man. You need a man to vet a man. It just works. It just works. There's things women can't see. And even if there's things that she may misinterpret, she may have her own maybe bad experiences that blind her to a lot of things. And and a lot of times, and I don't mean any disrespect to anybody watching this. A lot of times if the mom is the single mom and she couldn't figure it out, like how is she going to help you? So we got to be realistic with men vet men, and we got to stop these bad cycles of just doing things on our own and thinking we know best. Like, let the man vet the man. And if my brother or my father says no, it's no. Of course I need the reason, but he knows. He would know. A man knows a man. That I'm gonna leave it at that.
Other women are just as delusional as we are, pretty much. I mean, and it's interesting too, listening to the conversation, is the women that I know that are married, or let's say they're married to the person that I'm asking to vet. Well, I'm married, but they usually follow, lock and step with their husband too. You know what I mean? I'm not really looking for their opinion, but they're pretty much on their same page. They're following what he sees, which makes sense. They're married. They're on the same page. But no, women are delusional, especially the young ones and the friends, the sisters. Yeah. No, thanks. I'm good.
Okay. Interesting. Curbs? Good.
I
thought I answered. It was about the vetting or
No,
asking.
I was just doing a well-being check. That's all.
Oh yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
Yeah, just trying to make sure I protect the women. Any final thoughts? Anybody want to add on to it? Is there anything out there that you think the people should know that hasn't already been said already?
Can I answer the question real quick?
Oh, yeah,
Just real quick. Because everyone said good stuff, but I wanted to say that you're going to be uncomfortable either way, whether you commit or not. It's going to take sacrifices. And if it's something that you're committing to on the front end, you're going to sacrifice, but it's going to be a greater outcome. Usually, again, think about the gym. But if you're not committing, it's going to feel good. You don't have to put forth that discipline. But you're going to have the lack of that outcome, that lack of investment you're not going to have that return later on. So either way, you're going to be uncomfortable, but you'd rather have that outcome and that result by being uncomfortable on the front end. It's just delayed gratification or the instant gratification. So that's all I wanted to add to it.
Okay.
Can I just add a little something to Coach K? Comparison is a thief of joy. Stop looking on social media and saying, well, their life is better. Why can't we have that? Or, comparing your man to whomever, whatever, what celebrity, or, just try to focus on what you have in front of you and build on that. And like Coach K said, that's an investment and you'll have that profit in the future, but you have to work on it today.
Gotcha. All right. Well, if you guys just tuned in, welcome to Lapeef-ING Sunday. And we're about to get to the meat of the conversation. And we know that the ladies like the meat.
Ow.
Shout out to all the ladies that's in the chat and all the watchers out there. We got some super chats that has come through so far. So let's go ahead and get to them. The AP, the accountability partner, $10 also member says, I didn't forget about you ladies. Coach K all over these spaces. Balancing curves. It's a pleasure to see y'all again. Much love to the Lapeef Network. Keep grinding, JR. Salute to you, sir. Orissa Michelle 499 says, women have access to sex and men have access to marriage. We hear that often. Shout out to my woman right here. Kelly Convos 999 says, I love balance, but I don't know about 30 to 60 days. Some people are great at pretending. We should definitely get back to courtship involving family and friends because love is blind. Arissa Michelle 499 says, I glorify my married sons. I love it. Kelly Convos again says, JR at my people JR is looking good. Appreciate that. Marcus Evans $5 says, if there was a percentage, how many people ignored their intuition?
Hey man, how you blushing through your beard though, man?
Rilla, come on now. John Doe 1199 says, Balance Stevens, aka Balancing Codes. Is it Steven Crowder or the Wealthy Broke Man 499 says, don't know why, but I had to look up the channel to see this live. Y'all shadow ban. Also, please help like the video. Thank you. Marcus Evans $5 says, great point, everyone. Dedicated to my children's future. $5 also member says, salute to the panel in chat. Peace sign, Sunday energy, strong emoji. Kelly Combo 499 says, your wholeness can be deleted. You have to make a wish at midnight right before New Year strikes. Marcus Evans $5 says, damn, brother Hink, laughing emojis. Marcus Evans $5 says, so it takes the right woman to change a man. You guys agree? Can a woman change a man? She can't change what she inspires, motivates, what? Okay. Dealt with 499 also member says, I see your point, Rilla, but today a lot of people's families full of 304s too. So the family cosign is null and void. Marcus Evans $5 says, I agree, brother Hink. Marcus Evans $5 says, I'm finally with balance. Wow. So you can't believe he agrees with you, balance. Big at 11, $10 says, I agree with Hink and Reverend Rilla. I think that's all of them so far. Yeah, I'm hearing the likes are down, family. To the people that's in the chat, the people that's watching, even the people that's on the panel, take this opportunity right now to hit that like button. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's very important that you hit that bell because I understand that some folks do miss the chance to catch these live streams live. So when you comment, we can't see it. But people that go to the comment section can. Let's go and get to the meat of the conversation again. The ladies like the meat, so let's get right to it. This is a long video. Not long. I'm gonna break it up into two parts of it. Women don't know what they want, as Hink suggested earlier. I think it must be some truth to Hink. Must be some truth in there that Hink sees. So Hink, I'm gonna come to you first, brother, because we would love to hear your perspective on this. But before we do, I'm going to introduce the context, kind of fill you guys in on how we came about with this topic. Let's do it.
Do women change men into the men they don't want and then leave them? You have to answer this one first.
I haven't seen that to be the case. That's an interesting point. I think. Okay, so I personally haven't seen that to be the case, but I think that's an interesting point.
So I'll say this, right? In my experience, it's been a little bit older. a lot of the time women say they want something,
but they don't actually want it.
Right. Okay. So they say they want something. So they say they want a man who is a leader and he's a boss and he's a worker and he's hard graft and da. That man is not going to be around a lot because he's got work to do, because he's trying to take care of the family, the household, etc., etc. If as a woman you now complain at the fact that you don't see your man enough, he's going to be thinking, hang on a minute, this is the man that you wanted, isn't it? You wanted a man to be provider for the household. Now you're talking about time. And then, this actually happened to me. And then you say, okay, cool, I'll work less hours. Yeah? Cool, but the 2 holidays a year that we're taking, you ain't going to be getting that. And, you know, certain things you're going to have to cut back on. And then you cut your hours, and then it's like, yeah, I want to go on holiday. Oh, really? You want to go on holiday now when I'm not doing as many hours as I was doing before because you wanted me to spend with you more time, and now all of a sudden I'm spending more time, right? Now you want the things that, as a man, listening to a woman like Zentience was saying, sometimes they're like, and that's why I've said, as misogynistic as it may sound, yeah, men should not listen to women.
Wow.
Before I play that second part, which kind of just reiterates what they're talking about already. What do you guys thoughts about that, man? I mean, it said a few things in there. Go ahead, Hank. I'm gonna go to you first. What are your thoughts, sir?
Well, you know, you got a lot of women that really don't know what they want. They really don't, because one minute you want a man to spend a lot of time with you, but if he's doing that, it means he's not working as much. He's not being out there being productive like he really should be, because he's trying to accommodate you and your command/demand or request for time. But then you want a certain lifestyle. Well, now, in order for that lifestyle to happen, if you want to be a stay-at-home mother or a stay-at-home wife or what, a kept wife, whatever you want to call yourself, now this man, he needs to go out there and he needs to grind and get that money. So now he's sacrificing that time you was looking for, but he got to get that money. Now he's working too much. Well, you're working too much. I need to spend more time with you again. Well, man, you can't have it both ways. You just can't. So you got to know what you want and mean what you say. And if that's the case, then this is what you're going to get. I know y'all want a super Negro. I understand that. Y'all want that super Negro. Shout out to my man Richard Pryor for that album. It was a classic. Y'all want that super Negro to come through, knock you down, you know what I'm saying? Give you that hour and a half of bang, bang, I'm gone. Going there to cook your hot meal after it's done, make sure the kids are fed. Y'all don't want to do any goddamn thing. Matter of fact, y'all want a nanny to come through and take care of the kids. Y'all want a housekeeper to come keep the house clean. What the hell do y'all do then? What do y'all do besides take up space? And if that's all you do, then why did I marry you? I could save myself a few bucks, time, and energy and headaches, and just kept you a girlfriend and kept on getting the benefits. Again, don't know what you want. You got to learn what you want. You got to figure out what you want, and then come in a man. But until that day comes, man, there's gonna be a lot of single ladies, and it's probably why they out here now, out in the ocean, just waiting to be caught by the fishermen.
All right, Coach K, what are your thoughts? Women don't know what they want.
I think that's true. They may know what they want, but they don't know what it requires. So if you have a young woman, 25, maybe she might want a guy that's late 20s, early 30s, expecting him to make 150K. Well, how likely is that? And also too, I keep saying, you know, this is another human being, right? That has wants and desires. Do you even qualify? So what does it require? And if they don't know what they want, let's say, I just think people aren't thinking long term. It goes back to the conversation we had before, the topic. You know, they may want something now, but what's going to happen later on? Are you going to want this same thing? Again, it's going to take some sacrifice on the front end, but I think a lot of people just aren't having these conversations, and they just don't know the repercussions that are going to take place down the road because of their decisions now. But no, I don't. Women might know what they want, but they don't know what it requires and why. So,
all right, go ahead, Chanel.
I think women, like Coach K said, know what they want. But I think a lot of women, we suffer from always wanting more. And it can be really tough when you want more, when you're in a spot where you can't get more as of now, at least. We have to kind of work on that, because what ends up happening is we have discontentment. We, like I said before, if you see someone have something better, you want that. You try to change your man or require more from your man, and that can get really annoying within a relationship. So I think, yeah, they may know what they want, but tomorrow they want something else, and it just keeps changing and changing, or they want more and more and more, and you're not content in your own situation. So I think that's kind of what it is.
I'm gonna finish playing the rest of this clip. I'm gonna go to Rilla and then Curbs.
That last comment that he made was a bit extreme. Wow. However, I do agree with what he was saying in regards that a lot of times women will tell you that they want something, but that's not really what they want. And I think I will go a little bit deeper and say, I don't think it's that's not what they want, because that is truly what they want. But they don't understand that what they want comes with certain things. That's the part that I think women don't understand. And just like he said, and we've said before in the channel, like, you want a man to be making X amount of money, it's going to require time. There's only 24 hours in a day.
Yep.
Everybody got them same 24 hours. So if you want to live a certain lifestyle and you expect for the man to basically pull most of that load financially, they're not going to be around the way how you think. Like, they're not going to be around like, you know, oh, they work from 9 to 5. By 5:30, he's going to be home every day. No, that's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be plenty of days where he's not getting home until after dinner time. For whatever reason, because of work, because he's working. So you wanting to spend all this time with him, or wanting to have, you want to be able to go on these vacations with the family and stuff like that, all of that costs money. So I think we need to get a better understanding of, as women, the things that we're asking for, and be realistic as to what all that entails. Like, you can want that, that's fine, but you have to understand that it's going to come with certain things. Like, if you want a high value man, like Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, used to say all the time, or what have you, with high value men, there are certain things that are going to come with that. You're going to have a lot of these guys who are just not going to be there. And the woman that they're with has to understand that and be okay, and knowing that they're pretty much going to kind of be on their own to a certain extent, but they will be well taken care of and provided for.
Yeah, we just love it. All right, go ahead. Who's I going to? Louise? Who's I going to first? Rilla, my bad.
You said Rilla, then me.
I guess.
So I think women know what they want. They want it all. They've been told that they can have it all. But baby, you got high expectations off of wrong information. Okay? You can't have it all. You can't.
Come on.
Men understand this. We analyze, we do CBA, cost benefits analysis, right? So we sitting up here like, okay, if I put in the work to get this, I'm producing this result, either got to make this adjustment, or I got to switch it up, go over here to get what I got to do, what I got to do to get where I got to go. My experience and what I see just from observation, women just won't. They just won't. They don't consider what it takes to get there. They don't consider who it impacts. It doesn't matter. I want. And if my feelings change up tomorrow, I want Prada today. I want Gucci tomorrow. I want this, da 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 da. Right? I want a man. We saw it with brother Kevin Samuels all the time. Do you want to work and da da da? You want to pay significant bills? No. Well, how much would it take to raise a family? I don't know. Well, what type of, you know what I'm saying? What type of money does this man? I don't know. I want what I want. And the truth of the matter is, women want it all. And I'm sorry, Bookie Boo Boo, you can't have it all. You can't. I'm sorry.
Courage, you can't have it all. What are your thoughts about it?
I ain't coming to swing, but I'm standing on that too.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think he's right. Women do want it all, and I don't think women understand what they're asking for sometimes when they say they may want a high value man, or may want a certain caliber of man. Like, one, do you even qualify for that type of man? Two, is he going to choose you? Because there's other women out here fighting for the same thing, and they may look better than you. They ass may be fatter. We could go down the list, but nevertheless, I think it comes down to like, what do you really want? And Balance, are you laughing at me right now? Oh, she making that face. But okay, so like for me, like my boyfriend he has his own business. So like he could be busy sometimes. So if he doesn't get the certain amount of jobs that he wants in a day, he might be pissed off. So it's just, for me, it's like setting up a certain atmosphere for your man. Like, you know what I mean? Do you know how to set up that atmosphere? Do you know how to make his days easier when it's hard? And that's what I feel like it comes down to, in my opinion. But it's different for everybody. It's just knowing your person and what they may need from you. And that's really all I got.
I was laughing at Hank because his face that he was making. He's hilarious. To answer this though, you guys ever heard the saying, comparison is the thief of joy? That's what we're dealing with, right? Women, they compare all the time. Instagram, oh, she's going on a private jet. She just went to Dubai. She got Prada, Gucci, Louis. And then they're like, oh, a man has to buy me this. They're so delusional. I'm sick of it. It saddens me, actually, because they're preventing themselves from having a healthy relationship. Because there could be a man that could buy you Prada, Gucci, and take you on a trip, and he treats you like trash, and he has no character and no integrity. And that's what you want over a good man? It's really quite strange. But to say yes, and when it comes to like, I know people say high quality man or whatever they categorize these men as, like, do you qualify for that type of man? I love that you said that, Curse, because it's true. Like, some women, they want the apex, they want the top of the line type of man. But it's like, girl, what are you coming to the table with? And then it's like, okay, what does that type of man require? Did you even ask him? Do you even know? Do you even know? Or you think you're just gonna show up with a wig and makeup and like, whatever I say, I get? Like, that's quite strange. And then we're seeing this all the time because people are living.
Other women doing the same thing.
Yes, they look just like you. They put on the same contour and the same wig too. Like, what are y'all talking about? And they got the same BBL too. Like, it has to be more than something physical. I mean, and I think social media is poison. Digital poison, whatever you want to call it, is so toxic, and they're delusional. And you're seeing these women go through man after man after man because these men will have sex with you, but they will never, ever commit to you and have a family with you and marry you because of your mindset. Men are not marrying women just because they look good. If you don't have the mindset to go with it, you're replaceable. You're replaceable. It's like these women, they're competing on who could be the prettiest or who could be the most naked, but they're not working on their spiritual and mental. And you need those things to sustain a family, to have children, to raise their children appropriately, because we don't want our daughters naked on social media either. And is that what they're going to learn from you? So I think women really need to be realistic on not just what they want, but what they bring and what that man desires and what he wants. So I'm gonna leave it there.
Right.
Can I add real quick? They might not realize that they're like, I'm not asking for much, but I'm asking for 6 figures. I'm asking for a guy to read my mind and stuff. It's like, actually, you're asking for a lot. Where do you come in? And there's some things you are going to have to sacrifice and, dare I say it, compromise, and maybe just let it go. You're not going to get everything. Again, what I said earlier, some things you're going to have to get from your friends, family, or maybe from yourself. There's that too, but you're not going to get it all anyway. So, and you're asking for it all.
And these men aren't superheroes. We have to be more realistic. They can't, make the 6 figures and then be home with you, cuddling and every minute of the day, So we have to be realistic that they're human too. They make mistakes, they have their flaws, and they need their, alone time. They need to get to work. They need to do all of these things. So let's just be realistic of the capabilities of these men.
Hey, look, just as a quick sidebar, just so some of these, go ahead.
No, you
No,
go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, just so you know, some of these young ladies understand, if you're chasing a 7-figure jigger, understand that comes with a golden shower, apparently nowadays.
God damn.
Weak, man.
God damn.
Hey, Hank, that's the new trend. They bragging about how they like golden showers now.
Oh, they like, okay, they like to be
What?
peed on. Yeah.
Is that R. Kelly shit?
That's P. Diddy shit.
Apparently it's Diddy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Shout out to the women who like
it's
to
be
get
a new
peed
thing now about these golden showers. I've been hearing about it.
Hey, man, shout out to the women who like their urination all over their face.
But no, I was gonna say like some women are like they're not realistic with like, oh, I want a dude who makes this much, but then you want him to be laid up and cuddle with you. Like you guys to get you a broke man if you want him to lay around with you all day, because the men making a big bag, they might be gone, and you have to be okay with that. But if you want all that love and affection all damn day, be okay with the dude who, you know what I mean, might just be working a regular money. You can't it all. That's not going to be the case.
What if he doesn't want to talk to you after work?
You said what?
So what if he doesn't want to talk after work?
What if he doesn't want to talk to you after work?
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
But according to him, no men want to talk. They just want to be mute and
again, that lying spirit is lying on me. Don't lie on me, Curve. Don't do that. I didn't say all men. I said most.
Man, we
Yeah,
don't
I know you got them exceptions.
They was good or bad. Shit.
Ma'am, look, I know you got the exception. You got the man who loves to talk a lot, and that's cool. But most men, they don't do that, man. They just don't. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings.
That's okay. And I know I don't want you to ever think that I'm arguing that with you. I know most men don't talk. Like I know that they're not very talkative like women are. Like I'm not even arguing that with you. For real. No funny shit. I know.
My man,
just
he
saying,
does not. He don't like to talk. He does not like to talk, especially after he get off of work. He just wants to relax, chill. I give him a massage or cooking some food, and he's content. Like he does not want to talk, like at all, honestly. And like I know when he wants to talk, because then he'll like openly start talking to me first. Then I'm like, all right, so I can talk, yeah. But most of the time, he'd be like,
yeah,
oh my God.
You found your end move, didn't you?
Well, she got excited about that massage. Massage them feet.
Hard and everything. It's my time.
Right. That's the best time to get him talking. Start massaging. I'm like, yes, now I can talk.
Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, Courage, you blessed, baby. You blessed. You got a man who love to gossip and get down on the stoop and shoot the breeze with you.
She ain't say all that.
Courage.
I never like to gossip.
Settle down.
He don't like to gossip, but he
I understand. He don't want to talk to you. He ain't got shit to say to your ass.
With me.
Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm
That's
gonna come in.
True.
I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I say I'm talking about me personally, not your man. I said what I'm going to do. Take notes. Listen. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna say hello, how you doing, and I'm gonna keep it moving. That's all I'm gonna say. Hello, how you doing? I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna get in the shower because I done went to the gym right after work. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting in the shower, I'm gonna relax, get ready to watch some King Talk on Lapeef Network. That's what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you for supporting the network. Y'all heard it.
What's going on,
Here
Kelly?
we go, Kelly. Because you was in that chat. You need to come up here.
Sorry,
it's Kelly.
I couldn't join the show today because I'm doing my hair. It's natural hair care day.
Oh shit!
For those of you who don't know, my natural hair goes down my back. Goes down my back and touches my butt, so it takes me like 4 hours to do it. So, just so you know.
Let's see it, Kelly.
Heck no, I'm taking out braids right now. No.
All right, I'll call you on FaceTime after the show.
Okay, you can get the glam version of me when it's done. How about that?
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to add in onto this real quick before we get up out of here?
Oh, I had so much to say, but I just got distracted by Hank. I don't even remember.
Remember the 30 to 60 days thing?
Will he be out of pocket? What you think?
Yes.
Do you think he's on point, or do you think the man be out of pocket?
Hank?
So I think Hank speaks for the man. And so I do think people should listen to Hank because when he talks, I think that's really how men think. And I think a lot of women want to be delusional and be like, no, they're Prince Charming. Like, no, that face that he's making it on the television right now, but they're making it behind the scenes. They'll smile, but they're making that face right there.
But they love them some Hank, don't they?
Demon time all the time.
Yeah.
So I definitely think people should listen because I do believe that men will hold out. They'll wait for you. They'll be like, oh yeah, baby, it's just you. And they will be messing with other chicks and sleeping around until you're ready. They'll be like, no, I'm just waiting for you. You're special. And then they'll be sleeping with everybody else. So I do think that happens. Absolutely. But the 30 to 60 day, I don't know. Okay, so Balance, I heard what you said. Don't you think there are some people who are really good? Like, sorry to take it back to that, but they're really good at pretending. Like, there's some con artists in these streets. And I think some people you could be talking to a guy, he could say all the right things, do all the right things because he's just very well learned and versed. And he could be married with 17 kids. Like, you just didn't know because he was so good at hiding it.
I think Curves is off cam.
Oh, that was for Balance.
There are liars. There are people that lie every day. You can have a business partner that lies to you for months too. So I just think it goes back to discernment. You got to have discernment, and sometimes everything is a risk. Being single is a risk. Being in a relationship is a risk. Being in a marriage is a risk. Everything you do is going to be a risk. And I think people are so afraid and in fear of getting bamboozled, hurt, lied to, and they try to avoid risk, and then they never try anything. Entrepreneurship is a risk. Everything is a risk. So it's like sometimes you're going to lose some. You're going to lose some. That is a part of life. Life is a part of taking risks, and sometimes you're going to lose. And everybody's trying to avoid losing. Sometimes you're going to lose. Just take your loss, take your little L, and keep it moving. People are so ashamed, and they're so afraid of this. This is a part of life. And I think it's unrealistic to say we're going to avoid a loss. We're going to avoid a risk. That's not realistic. Everything in life is a risk. So I'm just saying, make smart decisions. Sometimes you're going to lose. I don't know anybody that hasn't lost once. I don't know anybody. So, sometimes you lose one and you got to be strong and keep it moving. That's how I feel about it.
I definitely agree with that. And I was always raised to believe that failure is a stepping stone to success. So that maybe you learn from that failure that you were in. But I also think involving the family is super important. People want to have these little trial marriages and these little secret relationships. But I think when you involve your family and friends, they know you and they can see the chemistry. And they can see like the real person, especially the men, for sure. And I also think men should introduce their women to their mothers and sisters because they can see, man, this girl, she's not right. She's for the street. She's tricking you. She's really a secret hoe. They can see all that. Just like the men can see the men, the women can see the women. So I definitely think family should be involved. Because you can't pretend around your family. You can be whoever you want to be in real life. You can fake it the fuck, but you can't fake it with your family.
Balance. Oh, go ahead, Kelly. I was gonna say, what about a honeymoon stage? I'm not saying you need to wait 6 years to decide if this person is your person. Definitely not. But 30 to 60 days, like that could still be the honeymoon stage, you know?
Yeah. I feel like after 3 months, it's hard to pretend.
Yeah. Maybe but again, if you set that up for yourself, commit to that. Okay, 3 months, 6 months, I'm committing to this time with this person. Obviously, you're being intentional. This isn't just someone off the street. You commit to that time, and then you will have your answer. But you have to commit ahead of time. Otherwise, you're going to be looking for reasons to stay with them or reasons not to stay with them, depending on what it is. So it's like when you make that decision, you're going to be committed even when things are kind of off or whatever. Which is natural with anyone. So.
People act like you can't break up. Okay, I'm not being funny, but if we're in a relationship after 60 days and now we're in a relationship, we should be building together. We should be building. If it comes out that I found out that maybe you got 10 women pregnant and then now it's month 3, it's not like I'm going to stay if that's the situation. Okay, I'm going to leave. But I don't think that we should take so long to commit to each other. I really don't. I don't think it takes that long, but that's my opinion. So meet the family, see what your daddy say. What does your dad say about this man? Okay, I'm gonna leave it there.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Uncle Stepdad, then we go back to Coach K. Go ahead, Uncle. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, JR, man? Appreciate it, man. I hope everybody having a great Sunday. I caught it like the tail end of what y'all was talking about, but I'm gonna bounce off of what Miss Balancing Code said, but I'm gonna add a little caveat to it. And I think that sometimes when we talk about relationship, especially when I hear the ladies do one, and this ain't no shot to y'all ladies, I think y'all use the most extreme situations. How many dudes you know out here with 10 to 15 to 17 kids? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this is advice I've given my sister, cousins, and things like that. Ladies, stop telling these dudes about things y'all have been through. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna become a representation of something that they're not. That's why I feel like women mess up at. You tell them, oh, well, I've been through this and I've been through that. My ex did X, Y, and Z. Now he's gonna, if he's like that person, he's gonna try to not become that person that you used to be with, when all along he really is that person. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like women get messed up in, and I hate to see a woman go through things like that, because she's gonna end up wasting her time, and you can't get that back. Learn from your mistakes and others. You know, I see this a lot on panels and things like that when women talk about the most extreme situations, and men should do the same thing. Like, women can be great actors, men can too, because it's a lot of y'all out here. And I ain't gonna say y'all per se, anybody on the panel, but the people that's out here in the chat. There's a lot of y'all that's in a relationship with great actors. I'm talking about Denzel, Oscar worthy. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, you pay attention to people saying, stop ignoring the red flags because you vibed. I got a good energy for him. I hate hearing women say that. Stop going with vibes and things like that.
Well,
because there's a lot of dudes out here. What should you go with?
The spirit. What about the spirit though?
Man, forget all of that. Dudes can fake spirits too. Women can fake spirits too.
Okay, I got you.
It's a lot of faking the funk out here. A lot of flogging out here, bro. So, but to finish my statement, like, you have to stop going with that. Go with a person's character and their personality. I forgot which one of y'all brought it up. Pay attention to the family, man. This is two parts, and I'm gonna leave with this. As a man, when you go meet a woman's parents, mothers, aunts, and things like that, pay attention to their behavior. Pay attention to their demeanor. Watch how they speak on men around you. If they always tracing dudes around you, hey, you need to run for the nearest, run for the boy. And when it come to men, just like you say, a dude cannot fake. You can't fake the funk around your family, bro, because you got to be who you are. Because there's a lot of time we're on these panels, and then when it comes to social media, a lot of people out here are trying to be somebody that they're not. You know what I'm saying? I get a reputation of being a-hole. I'm going to continue to be a-hole. I ain't going to get on here acting like I'm some type of guru or something. I'm going to be who I am. And then whatever, if that woman chooses to be with me, hey, she's going to choose to accept it. She don't, okay, cool. We could be friends. But people have to stop being representations of something else when they're really not that.
Hold on. Before we go to Coach K, I do have a couple of announcements real quick, which is Lee will be going live today. The House of Glass that women built. He'll be going live at 3 p.m. And also got a new show that's going to be starting tomorrow during the day. It's going to be Trigger Mike. Trigger Mike is actually going live in the morning. I think it should be before 12. So it's a great topic. See if I can pull it up real quick, but make sure you guys subscribe and stay tuned for that. I think Trigger Mike is a dope individual, man. A great perspective. So make sure you guys tune in to that. Let me see, where is it?
Trigger Mike, he's awesome. I like Trigger Mike too.
Yeah.
He's cool people, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up real
quick. But
quick.
why is your name Uncle Stepdaddy? I'm just really trying to figure that out, because I've been meaning to ask you that, but I just don't understand.
Hey, if JL had enough time, I would break it down. But I think he said somebody he didn't finna wrap everything.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach K.
What Uncle Stepdaddy said was spot on. I think a lot of women will say, and I am going to say this, I don't mind saying a lot of women, because I see it. I used to do this, but bringing in stuff your ex did. This person you're dating isn't your ex. Are you dating someone new because he's not your ex? You'd probably say yes. So why are you bringing it up? You know, just drop that. Plus, he doesn't want to hear it. That's probably a red flag for them. You need to heal, work on that, and then this is your fresh start. You're dating him for a reason, right? Or if you're not, then that's something to be concerned about. But also too, I just wanted to go back to the I'm not trying to harp on this, the 30-60 day thing. I also could see people, it's almost that instant gratification thing too. Like they won't give it enough time to maybe see if it's going to be something, you know, past that honeymoon stage or whatever, to see if this is actually worth something to maybe continue into the 3rd month or the 4th month or whatever. But it's like, if you're so quick to say, okay, does he do this, some things you won't see right away, and vice versa. So I just wanted to add that to it, but that was it, really.
Appreciate that. Trigger Mike's topic tomorrow is going to be, is hope like dope to women? Is hope like dope to women?
That's a good topic.
Man, I can't wait to hear that.
So make sure you guys tap in with that tomorrow. My apologies, son. Anybody else want to chime in before we get up out of here?
Yeah, we're talking about this 30 to 60 day thing. You know, I don't want to harp on it either, Coach K, and I feel what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I feel what you're saying. But what makes you think y'all ladies deserve to get that information for the man within them 30 to 60 days? At the same time, y'all vetting him, he's vetting y'all. He needs to make sure he sit back and listen. Guys, let me tell y'all this. Throw a few words out and just sit back and let them talk. They're going to tell you everything you need to know. Go to their social media. It's going to tell you everything you need to know about a woman.
What information are you talking about?
Expose everything. What'd you say, Curve? I know you love talking to me. What'd you say? What did you say, Curve?
I do. I'm glad you noticed that. I
know you do.
Just to you. I wanted to know because you said this information. So I'm trying to figure out what is this information you talking about?
Y'all information. Y'all share everything. Y'all can't hold water. Y'all put everything online.
So you said what makes women think that they deserve the information that the man has to give? What information?
Yes, that's what I was asking. What information? Yes, that's what Kelly just.
I got you. I'm glad you clarified for her, Kelly. Big sister.
Can I know their real name? Can I know where they live? Is that too much information? Because some people lie about stuff like that.
Kelly,
they're married.
Stop, Kelly, come on now.
But you know what I'm saying? Like some people lie
No,
about.
I don't know what you're saying. I mean, if you're dealing with situations like that, you got a whole different situation.
That's what I say. That's the most extreme situation.
That's what I'm saying.
If you don't know that within a certain amount of days, that's a problem already with you. And lets me know you ain't no upstanding type woman. You're just about to shallow because he's just presenting a certain thing to you, and you believe in everything he say. Then you's a goddamn fool, and you deserve everything that comes to you. But let me talk about the information y'all don't really deserve because y'all may not have proven yourselves yet. Y'all don't deserve all of that. A man shouldn't expose everything to a woman because she don't deserve it. She has it. What has she done in them 30 to 60 days? Very little to nothing. Because most of the time she's looking for you to take her out to buy these things for her, to do these things, take on this trip. But what has she done?
Oh my God.
Like vulnerable stuff, for sure. He shouldn't tell you all his vulnerabilities right out the gate.
Why?
I agree.
Right.
Y'all be so afraid to just get into things. Like what?
No, we don't trust
what
you.
Is this?
We don't trust you yet. I'm not gonna share things if I don't trust you yet. You're talking about me as a man. I'm blessing you with everything.
Hey,
you want to put all my
Hey, can I add something to what you say, bro?
What are you blessing her with?
My last name.
Your conversation. What are you blessing her with?
My last name, man.
What are you blessing her with? I need to know.
I'll say this. I can't say that.
Did I just say what I said?
Hold on. Your last name? Is that what you just said? You're blessing her with your last name.
Are you on delay?
This you don't even want to be
I think she might be up
vulnerable
on the delay, Hank.
Okay, I didn't know she was on delay or slow. Okay, yeah, I'm a blesser with my last name. I'm a blesser with everything I have. I'm a protector. I'm a provider. I'm gonna be financial. I'm gonna be her counselor. I'm gonna be her confidant. I'm gonna be where she can come to me and be vulnerable. Ma'am, you asking me questions? Please let me answer.
Hey, why are you doing all that? Why are you doing all that for a woman who you don't even trust?
I'm not. I'm doing it for my wife.
Information to, but you're gonna bless her with your last name. What are you talking about?
You're not listening, ma'am. I'm a blessing with my last name. If I bless you with my last name, that means you're my wife, right? That's what that means. So once I do all that, that's when you're gonna get those blessings. Those are all part of the blessings. But what I'm saying, like Balance said, what are you bringing to the table? You bringing little to nothing because y'all want everything provided for you. You want that man to bag so you can be taken care of, but you're not willing to do the little things. You're not willing to just to sit back and rest in your femininity. You want to be heard all the time. You don't always have the conversation. You always want to be right. How about you take an L and be wrong every once in a while? You're not willing to do that. So again, a man shouldn't share all his information if he don't need to. Why should I share all this information with you when I may not deem you find you worthy enough to share information with? No, I'm not. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna do intel. I'm gonna take it all the thing I take. I want to like Uncle saying, like Uncle Sibday saying, women.
How's he? I think that's being cautious, and I think women should take the same approach too. I don't think women should be giving out all this information.
But why can't? What is wrong with being vulnerable? Because
you can be vulnerable, but you have to take your time. You can't.
Why do I need to be vulnerable with you? I barely even know you.
One at a time, family. One at a time.
He told men to listen to women because we give out all the information, right? But he's telling men, on the other hand, say shit. Don't give her no information. She don't even deserve to know this information. I might possibly maybe want to marry her one day. What the fuck are you talking about? Make it make sense to me is all I'm saying. Like,
I can't make it make sense.
Missing something?
You're on that other level, but your spirit's on another level, and I can't get there with you. But for the women who are listening, please listen. Don't expect to get all the information you think you're going to get. He shouldn't share it with you. He should give enough information where he needs.
Hold on.
When he finds you good enough,
hold on.
You can get all the information you need.
I want to get Luis in there. Go ahead, Luis, and then we'll go to Chanel and then Uncle.
Yeah, I see where Hank is coming from, and and I kind of do agree with him. I mean, at the end of the day, look, we're meeting people who are essentially strangers. You don't know these people from a hole in the wall. They're strangers. We're taking the time to get to know them slowly and open up conversations about life experiences, interests, and where that intersectionality is at. But you're not going to divulge all your vulnerabilities and your shortcomings right up front to people who haven't really garnered that time to give that to them. We're not meeting everybody every week and just exposing our whole life, being vulnerable to everybody. I think for the people who you've courted and have taken the time to listen, and that has develop and evolve, you could slowly start to kind of let them in and let them on certain insights about you. But I don't think that just being vulnerable with everybody you come encounter, especially if you're dating, what I'm saying, that right there just seems like almost like trauma dumping in a way. I think it's very strategic. I think you have to really be selective about who you open up with, who you share certain intimate parts of your life about, and make people kind of earn that. What I'm saying? Don't just freely give that up. I know that we just always want to overshare, but there's certain things you got to kind of keep to yourself until that relationship has actually evolved and materialized into something that is worth pursuing.
All right.
So are you in agreement with the 30 to 60 days then of commitment?
I mean, I'll say this: if in 30 days, you should be able to at least come to the conclusion, I would like to continue getting to know this person more, and develop a friendship or a kinship, something that could lead into a relationship, right? And I think around that 60-day point, you could make the determination like I think we should talk about next steps into what this is going to evolve into, whether it's a relationship, whether you see marriage in the future, what does that look like? And is this person courting you the right way that will lead into marriage, right? Because let's be very honest, a lot of people talk about marriage or being intentional, but you got to look at how they're moving. don't focus on what they're saying, because I do agree there are some con artists, but you got to really pay attention to how people are moving and how they're showing up for you every single day, and what are those constant conversations are like.
I suppose the reason I'm getting hung up on the 30 to 60 day, and maybe I think a little differently, because I don't believe in dating just to date. Like, oh, I want to commit to this guy, make him my boyfriend. I'm thinking future. Like, if I commit to you, I want this to be eventually a marriage. So I can't do that in 30 to 60 days. I can't see if you're the person I want to spend the rest of my life with in 30 to 60 days. I feel like that takes a little bit more time. Sure, we can hang out, we can have fun, we can be cool, but the lifetime commitment, I can't see that happening in 30 to 60 days. So
and I agree with that part.
A boyfriend, sure, you're cool enough to chill with after 30 to 60 days, great. But a husband, it takes time for to be able to see their character. And I can't see that in 30 to 60 days. So that's my hang up with it, I think.
Hold on, let me get to Balance. Go ahead, Balance.
I feel like this. If you cannot commit in a relationship in 30 to 60 days, you should not be having sex with the person within 30 to 60 days.
I 1000% agree with that.
That's how I feel about it. I was saying people jump too fast into sex, but not commitment, which is counterproductive. It doesn't even make sense. So logically, if you don't think you're ready to commit to this person, don't have sex with them. Period. At all.
Are we just talking sex though, or commitment?
I thought you were talking
relationship
about a
and
relationship.
Yeah, I thought that's what I thought too.
But we're talking about the culture and what's happening. What's happening on a large scale is people are having sex with each other within that time frame and not committing. And then they're going on to the next person and the next person and the next person.
Okay. Yeah, so I 1000% agree with that.
Aside from that though, because you didn't bring that up earlier. I'm saying earlier what you were saying.
I agree with you there, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely brought up sex earlier because I'm talking about what the culture is doing. Because that's why we're here. We're talking about the culture as a whole, not me, not maybe you guys, but the culture as a whole. They're having sex, second, third date, first date even, and then by the next month it's another person.
It's dates and vibes.
Go ahead.
It's dates and vibes out here. That's what it is. It's
and this is what's hurting our community. So if you don't feel that you could commit to a person, do not have sex with them. It doesn't even make sense. Now, if you're just out here like Hank, maybe just wanting to have sex, then that's different. But if you want a real long-lasting commitment, there's no reason you should be having sex with somebody that you can't trust and you can't be vulnerable with, and then you have sex with them. It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. But yeah.
Y'all love to use and abuse my name, don't you?
You won't know someone though all the way. Like, I mean, there will be some big things. Like if he doesn't work, like, yeah, you're going to know that within a week, not even 30 days. But I think as far as I think what Louis said was perfect, honestly. Like those stages of what you're going for, but the dust has to settle. That's why I brought up the honeymoon stage. Like that has to, everything's going to seem great. But after the honeymoon stage, you're going to see what you really need to know.
Like who that person really is. I mean, you can fall in love with their representative, and after 90 days, you're like, wait, who are you? Who else to know?
So then, like, would you say, I'm gonna go to Chanel because I know she was one to hop in on this. So then, would you say that everybody shows up as a representative? Chanel?
Definitely. I think sometimes we can't even help it. We want to put our best foot forward when we're dating, especially someone that we really like. So yeah, you can't help that. But the true you tends to come out. And I don't think 30 to 60 days is too much to ask for to get something like a commitment. I think that's a perfect amount of time to get an initial commitment. We're not talking about going to get married, but to make a decision like, okay, I want to keep seeing you exclusively. And I think that's when, especially when a man introduces that to a prospective woman, I think that's when that woman starts to see, okay, he's actually serious about me. Let me continue vetting. He's going to continue vetting me, but at least we have something solid that we can go off of. How long are we going to be in this phase? 6 months and then we're boyfriend and girlfriend? Like we can't keep, that going, because then that's a potential of risking having sex with the wrong person. For me, at least, you want to save that into a marriage. Some people want to do it that way. Sorry, Amazon package coming in. So it's not like ideal for you to sit there for 6 months, 8 months, just who are we? What are we going to do? Like, I think 30 to 60 days is a great time period to say, all right, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend and figure it out that way.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely.
Okay. Uncle Stepdad, since I know you're a guest, go ahead and take us out and I get the super chats.
Okay. I'm hearing everything everybody's saying. Like a lot of people talking about dating with the intent to marry. I'm gonna give y'all some harsh realities, man. Every man ain't husband material and every woman ain't wife material, y'all. So you take those 30 to 60 days to come in and get to know that person, man. Because you ain't gonna know right off if that person the one for you. You got to continuously get to know things of that person. And to answer Curtis' life question, man, I ain't gonna be as harsh as he was. I'll tell you this. You can't share your innermost secret with nobody the first 30 to 60 days in, because you don't know that person's intent. Because there's a lot of women out here, a lot of people, let's say if a man having those type of thoughts to delete himself. Once that woman get mad at you, she gonna throw that shit back in your face and use it against you. And don't say you ain't never done it. Because
you're absolutely right. Not that I've done stuff like that, but I know what you're talking about. So now with you saying that, I can understand why men would be more reserved with not putting certain information out there. I can admit when I'm wrong. You right. You got that.
And not to be biased, Curve. The same men do the same thing.
Hey, you was being mean to me. Stop.
I accept your apology, Curves.
And not to be biased though. Men do the same thing. So, because you got to think about it, a lot of women that grow up, they dad in the house, and you're like, well, shit, you should have did this because your dad. That's why you act like thinking your daddy want to marry. You know,
right?
It happens. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I think that's, and I don't use that culture stuff because I'm with Anton on this. Shout out to Big Dog. Our culture trash, bro. Because we go out here and vouch for the most minuscule and disgusting thing. We have to change that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't go into a situation, or you know what I'm saying, wanting to try to, you care more about busting this chick down than to getting on her mental. What about the things she went through as a child? A lot of women still have childhood trauma. A lot of dudes still have childhood trauma. You ever talk to them about that within the 60 to 90 to 120 days? But don't nobody talk about it. Everybody think about fucking. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about your snitch. I care more about what's going on up here than what's going on down there. I'm out.
I agree with him. And real quick, like even in my relationship, we may have committed within that 60-day mark, but I'm still learning new things about him every day. Like it's a continual process. He's not vulnerable in all the 60 days. No, but we could at least commit. And then we're still learning each other as the time goes on is what I'm saying. Like he still tells me stuff I would have never known, but that is a process. And men take a long time to open up fully and to trust fully. You're never going to get that from anybody in 60 days, but that doesn't mean you can't commit. But I'm going to leave it.
That's good. So true. That is so true.
Again, I said it earlier. You don't know these women's intentions. You know who I'm committed to in 30 and 60 days? Myself. That's who I'm committed to. 365. No one else, because I'm not going to let myself down. I'm not going to hurt myself. So I'm committed to myself. But if I'm going to commit to this lady, this woman, no, she got to earn that. You got to earn everything you want to get from me. It's not just going to be given to you just because you got some ass or some titties and vagina. The hell with it. Standard model. Every lady got that. I know you love saying my name. Hey, I just hope that you make love to your man tonight. Don't call my name.
Stop. This is not Destiny's Child. This is not Destiny's Child. I'm not trying to say your name. Chill. But what I am saying is I like to admit when I'm wrong. I'm not like too high on my horse. So I'm like, if what you were saying, you meant what Uncle Stepdaddy was saying in regards to watching how much you give, like watching how much information you give about yourself because it can be thrown out in a disrespectful manner. If y'all get into, if that's what you meant, I understand that. So I was just admitting that I was wrong. That's all I was doing. Like, damn.
I got you, man, but you didn't give me that opportunity to say it. You didn't give me the opportunity to share because you kept cutting me off because you wanted to be. You kept over talking me. So again, I tell men all the time, don't argue with no woman. I'm not going to argue with no woman. I'm not. I walk away from you.
Oh man, we got to get
I just don't do this. So again, that's why I didn't try to go back and forth with you like that because I don't argue with women.
I think we want to get Hank and Curves to show us something, man.
Yeah, they need to hug outside.
I wasn't trying to argue with him. I don't try to argue.
You're more than welcome to come to the basement. Come to the basement.
All right, let me look at these super chats real quick. Mr. 1110 says, I agree with Hink. I read that one already. That was the last one. Accountability partner $5 says Hink said Lois was Superman's real kryptonite. All his L's were due to Lois. The emoji. Enough is never enough. All right. Kelly Convo says I got it all. Lapeef. Shout out to you, baby girl. Chicago Rilla, your perspective is needed on this network. Absolutely, I agree.
Miss you, Rilla.
$2 says, Rilla, you coming back full time?
Please, Rilla. Please.
We need you, bro.
This is why Kevin Samuels will forever be the GOAT. Bruiser says women who don't have a father raising them and showing an example of being a husband aren't able to see what they want. Kelly Combos again says, quote and balance, competing on who can be the most naked. Duke Whitfield 499 says, God-fearing, hard-working, middle-class men are considered broke these days. Sorry, but even us average men don't want what modern women are selling. Marcus Evans $5 says, vibes and feelings come and go. Marcus Evans $5 says, shout out to Uncle Stepdaddy for them gems. Marcus Evans again $5 says, great conversation today. No gaslighting, no goofy stuff. Good Sunday. Take care. Appreciate you, sir. Marcus Evans again said $5 says, damn, let the brother finish. Sharon Thomas $2 says, curse with the sign language. Gary S. $5 member says, my man Big Hink straight shooter. Charles Keys Sr. $5 says, I pay all the bills. Where's my beer and sandwich? Lamont R. Davis $4 says, got a super sticker. Thank you, sir. Black Thoughts $5 says, the fact that women aren't listening to men about how men think and what men require is weird. Those girlfriend magazines warped their brains. See if we had any more come through. Yeah, we did. Men, original everything else is carbon copy. $10 a member says, men say they can't wait, but they go to jail. They wait or no, because according to them, they can't wait.
Some of them.
Xavier Rosen said we got to get Hink a mic. So you need a mic. You got a mic? You got a mic, Hink?
Yeah, is it bad or something?
No, I don't know. I just was curious. No, I don't sound bad. Those all super chats. Sorry, my son's damn loud. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in today. Rilla, brother. Good to see you, man. I got to get Rilla's flowers, man. Perspectives definitely miss. It was great. Appreciate you, brother. Love you.
Rilla, come back.
Yeah, Rilla. Every time Rilla's here,
y'all tripping, man. I'm not going nowhere. I'm just working a lot, man. Life is in the way, and I told my wife I was gonna spend more time last year. I didn't give her the time that she needed, so I need to, celebrate the wife of my youth. And then y'all will see me here. I ain't gonna shout out to the chat, shout out to the panel, man. Shout out to all y'all. JR, you already know what it is with me and you, bro. Love always, King.
Yeah. I want to say thank the panel as well, Louise. Kelly, Uncle Stepdad, pleasure to always have you, brother. Thank you for your support. Curves, much needed perspective as well, because you speak for women out there. Chanel, good to see you. I know you had to leave early, you stayed, so I was surprised at that. Thank you. Coach K, always a delight to see you. I like them on glasses too. Is it a little tint in them?
No, just my screen.
Okay.
I like yours though.
Coach K, I'm feeling the glasses. I'm not gonna lie, it gives you an extra oomph. I like it.
Thank you. They're a pain with the screens, but thank you.
Balance, I appreciate you. Thanks for your commitment as always. You're always eating off the can. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm gonna get you a slingshot or something.
Wipe your mouth, Balance, and wipe your mouth.
All right. With that being said, again, make sure you guys catch Sage Talk coming up next at 3 p.m. Central Time. The House of Glass that women built. So it should be interesting to see how you break this down. And catch Trigger Mike tomorrow.
Can you shout out Bridging the Gap?
Bridging the Gap. Kelly Convos does have Bridging the Gap on the Lapeef Experience channel. It's a diverse panel. We often only hear perspectives of what's within our culture. So this show caters to hear what other cultures have to say and see if we can tie it all in together, because we only hear one way. The more knowledge we have, the more information we have and perspectives, then we can put it together within our own households and make it work for us. So excellent show. That show is on Wednesdays, 7:30, 8 o'clock. I think it's going to shift to 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So make sure you guys tap in and go to the other channels.
Talking about what poverty looks like around the world.
You said what?
This week we're talking about what poverty looks like around the world.
Okay, there you go. You heard it first. So make sure you guys go and support Kelly Convos.
That should be dope, bro. That should be real dope.
I Uncle Step there. I expect to see you in that chat over there.
Hey, I'm always gonna support y'all, man. You, Trill, Ricky, all of y'all, man.
There you go. There you go. All right, y'all. We'll get up out of here. Thank you guys for your perspective. Hit that like button and also make sure you subscribe to the channel on your way out, family. We out of here. Make sure you guys put that link. I just pinned it to the top of the chat. That's Sage Talk Lee right there. Make sure you guys put that link pinned to the top of the chat and go ahead and let's support Lee at 3 p.m. Central Time. Go ahead and set the reminder, y'all. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel on your way. I appreciate all the support you guys are giving us. I want to say special thanks to the panel. Appreciate you guys' perspective. Shout out to the greatest network ever, the Lapeef Network family. Just want to say thanks again to you guys. Appreciate all the support. Without you guys, would not be where we are today. So thank you. Shout out to all my Korean guys there. I see you, Lexicon. I see you. St. Joshua, I see you. Matt Chi, I see you. Clement Gray, I see you. Thank you, Uncle Stepdaddy. I see you, sir. The original everything else is carbon copy. I see you. Green gang in the building. I see you. It's the last track. Click that link into the top of the chat, you guys. Make sure you head over there to Sage Talk with Lee. Special thanks to you guys again.